And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
The extended mix. The 12-minute dance mix or something. What do we got? Eric just doesn't want to. You don't know what to say.
Hey, Glenn, take it over, man. I had my piece. I had 35 minutes early. I'll get back into it, but go for it, man. Go for it.
I don't know what, dude. So before the show even started, guys, I got Eric all round up just by saying, hey, is the Toronto Blue Jay Ball Club the mystery team here? He's like, I don't want to hear it.
He's going to the Dodgers, dude. He's going to the freaking Dodgers, man.
Well, you know what? I don't know, man. Don't count out the Padres, man. We got 101 excuses why he's not going to the Padres.
I'm going to tell you something right now. If he goes to the freaking tire fire, if he's going to the tire fire of San Diego, I ain't got nothing for you, man.
For 6 years.
I ain't got nothing for you.
Hey, dude, I want to go to Toronto, and we don't have to just put him in the American League.
Yeah, whatever.
Go to playoffs if we ever get there.
But here's the thing. Just go to the Dodgers. Because if he goes to Toronto, you're telling me the freaking San Francisco Giants couldn't be a more desirable location than the freaking Toronto Blue Jays?
Maybe they signed Verlander and he goes, geez, I don't want to be part of this mess.
Speaking about Verlander.
And you think the opposite. You think just the opposite then. They knew a few days ago, perhaps.
I think, look, this is just me thinking, guys. This is just me thinking.
Think away.
I think the Giants knew this a few days ago. Mm-hmm. And I think they pivoted to Justin Verlander. There's no doubt about it. Because it doesn't make – we sat here for days, Glenn, trying to make sense of the Verlander signing because it's still, to me, it still doesn't make any sense. There's no doubt about it. They knew, and they just announced it today. That's what I'm thinking. I think people already knew beforehand.
The guys in the chat, Glenn, there's no way. San Diego or LA, no shot at going to Toronto. Well, guess what? They're saying San Diego, LA, or Toronto.
Yeah.
That doesn't include the Giants. So they're doing something right because what happened? Anyway, I'm not so much concerned now about, I want to put Roki in the rearview mirror, but Eric, looking ahead, I got to put blinders on because I don't like what I see. What did I tell you also? I texted Eric today. I had a little chat with Bernice. And she knows what's going to happen. As soon as the Giants call and ask us, are we renewing our season tickets? I say, no, I already bought a set right here. I don't need to be. Eric, they didn't. What was the line I used? And I thought it was appropriate. Did I nail it on the head? The Giants didn't sell me on season tickets, man.
How can they? How can they? Man?
I don't need season tickets. I'll go to a ball game. I'll go to a lot of the games, probably. You know, I'll get caught up in it like everybody else, Eric. I'll get caught up and go to the ballpark and not know who's playing and who's coming and going. And anyway, 500 ball club. I know you're going to get into it, Eric, but you sent me a clip. I don't know if the guys are in on it, but did anybody out there in the audience see the Verlander introduction?
Hold on, I'll find it. I'll find it.
Interesting. If nothing more came out of that, there was something that was said there.
Yes.
And it may have put somebody behind the 8 ball, so to speak. So are the Giants working on things? Well, you know what? They have been. That's one thing Posey's done. He works on things it's been hush money, right? But something came out in that presser today. I didn't get to see it. I heard the audio clip.
It wasn't a presser. It was a Zoom call. He didn't even come to San Francisco. He didn't even come to San Francisco and talk to the press. It was by Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah, but he talked to the press, and then one of them asked him a question, and his answer, I leapt up and I go, I had to play it back. Did I hear something?
Yeah.
Have you got the clip?
Yeah.
We won't say the name. Let's see if the audience.
Christian. Hey, I was stationed there. Well, I
see if the audience picks up on
I was there for a TDY for 3 months.
Eric will play the clip. You guys,
it's not quite TDY. All right, let's play this.
Play it.
Take a listen, guys.
See if the guys pick up on this. We won't say anything. Just pick up and listen.
I think it's a team that, quite frankly, before Buster called me, wasn't really in my consideration.
Imagine that. The team wasn't.
No shit.
Okay, there you go.
And then in doing some research after Buster called, obviously immediately you're like, man, really tough division. Going to be tough. And that's obviously true. But I think that this team has a lot of upside that is maybe a bit overlooked. With Kim coming back. And
What was that, Eric? Pardon me?
Kim coming back. And
who?
What?
One more.
Kim coming back. And with Kim coming back.
Have we got more unauspicious news to break tomorrow, Eric?
Who? Yeah, Alex. Who?
And maybe they're spreading it out. Maybe they've already done something. They're spreading. You know what they're doing? They're spreading out the releases, Eric. So it gets us excited. And I'm not.
With Kim coming back.
Oh, come on.
Look, guys. Jung-Hoo Lee is nowhere close to the name Kim. Come on. How do you confuse Jung-Hoo Lee with Kim?
Is that what they're saying?
No, how do you mix that? I'm just saying, how do you mix that up? When you're thinking of players,
you don't.
Is he coming? I'm telling you, if Hassan Kim, and he says coming back, I'm telling you something right now, dude. Easy to mix up. How's that easy to mix up? Jung-Hoo Lee is nowhere close to Hassan Kim. It's nowhere close. And that's even okay. Well, I could go with that. He confused Kim with Jung-Hoo Lee because they're both Korean affiliated. He's confused of them because he doesn't care about the team.
Maybe he doesn't.
I'm telling you something right now.
Maybe he doesn't know who's on the team.
If Hassan Kim is signed to the Giants, whatever, done.
All right, Christopher Navarro. Then what the hell was he talking about? I don't know, Eric. I heard that and I was like, "What? That did I miss?"
No. Chris Navarro, you guys have Hi Song Kim. Ha Song Kim is still out there.
Yeah.
Is it safe? Can I take off my ad, Graham? It's safe. I haven't dropped any F-bombs yet. They aren't signing. Christian, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Because the Giants got just about enough money to sign Hassan Kim.
If you can read everything in the chat, Eric, that Daniel Silveira said. But read the last 2 words. They're done. They're done.
Dude.
They're done. We've gotten older.
Yes.
Nothing juicier. Nothing. You stop it, will you? It's only 10 minutes in, and I'm getting wound up. When guys, Eric, are coming into our show nightly, Greg, I'll call you out. Greg buys tickets to the games. Greg goes to the ballpark with me. And Greg, if you are so excited, he said it on the show last night. Greg came in the show last night and said, Verlander's going to put people in the seats. The excitement. I'm not excited. I'm not going out and going, God, must-see ball game tonight. Must-see TV. No. Verlander's pitching? Verlander's pitching. Giants are playing. That's not must-see TV for me, Eric. That's not, I got to buy a ticket. Oh, got to buy a ticket to see Verlander. I don't get excited. I want fresh, young, upcoming, I got nothing to be excited about, Eric. What about you?
Mark Graves, 100% correct. Mark Graves, 100% correct, my friend. 100%. And as Mike correctly states, maybe Verlander knows the Giants are close to signing. Holy fuck. Fantastic guy out of North Korea, guys.
I think my dad's watching. I said that is a ball player. Holy fuck.
Right. He's pretty good, man.
You gotta behave early.
He's a switch hitter. He's a switch pitcher. and he even manages.
Does the laundry after the game, I believe. I don't know, Eric.
Oh.
I don't know. Eric, you correct me. You don't have to jump on my bandwagon. You never have. You probably never will. But does Verlander, if it's game 3 of the season and you text me and go, Glennie, I'm firing up the barbecue. The coals are going. I'm ready to watch Verlander. Not me.
No. I
might be in Daly City having a steak. I don't have to rush out to the ballpark 3 games in to see Verlander. And guys are in there. What is it about guys in our chat, Eric? I love them, but some of them get so excited about imagine I can't imagine if they're that excited about Verlander, what the hell would they do? Wellness check if they had signed a star like Roki.
Again, guys, tell me right now, Verlander was not a panic move. Tell me. Because you're not going to convince me otherwise. I guarantee you the Giants probably knew this days ago. And that's why they pivoted to freaking Justin Verlander. Glenn, how did the Giants do this? One of the things that the Giants needed to do this offseason was to fortify that rotation. You lost Snell, okay? Okay, you weren't on Snell. I get it. That's fine. You still had Corbin Burns. You still have Max Fried. Max Fried signs with the Yankees, okay? Hey, guys, we're going to get Corbin Burns, man. We're going to get Corbin, but that is going to be the guy the Giants get, and the cherry on top would be a Sasaki. You miss on freaking Corbin Burns.
Cherry on top? We don't even have a Sunday.
You missed on Corbin Burns, okay? You missed on Corbin Burns. Okay, we're still in the running for Sasaki. Hey, guess what, Glenn, real quick. We were first. We were first to be notified that they weren't going to sign, or that Roki was not going to sign at the Giants. So we were first. At least we didn't come in second, but Yankees came in second
Thanks,
place.
but no thanks.
But you're telling me the Giants could not go out there and get a top of the rotation arm. Not one. Come on, dude.
No.
Come on. That's that.
I don't even want to ask you this early in the show, Eric.
Dude.
Don't want to ask you yet. You said something about
you
this
talk
team's
about
getting better. This
starting
pitching staff's
pitching.
getting better. This pitching staff's no better.
You're talking about getting starting pitching. Buster Posey said that. We want to have pitching, defense.
Hey, glad you brought that up.
Across. Well, you know what? They're going to scratch runs across, but they're going to probably give up quite a bit. Are you telling me, guys, let's go back to the World Series, right? What Posey knows best.
Yeah.
Matt Cain, Tim Lincecum, Madison Bumgarner. Would you say that the current top 3 of the Giants are anywhere near Matt Cain, Tim Lincecum, or Madison Bumgarner? I would say Logan Webb is your Matt Cain. Verlander ain't your Lincecum. Ray isn't not your Madison Bumgarner. What's going on, man? How can you not get how can you not get a freaking starting pitcher? Because you didn't want to pay?
San Francisco Giants. But you said scratch and cross runs. Yep. But you've said for months, Eric, all right, this offseason, your goal, your whole platform was pitching and defense, right?
Yeah.
They signed Adames. Big signing for the Giants, right? You think we're getting better? He's not known for his defense, Eric.
His defense is okay.
It's okay.
He had a bad year last year.
They signed him to get the offense.
Yeah, yeah.
So what have we done? Pitching and defense. What have we done?
We got a 42-year-old starting pitcher for 1 year.
Jesus.
We got a 42-year-old starting pitcher. Hey, but it's okay because he's already at 92 miles an hour with his fastball.
And guys, go listen to the entire interview he did in that little press thing with the media over the Zoom. Lip service. He was talking the big game. I'm here to do that. And Eric, it wasn't about the team. If you listen closely, what was his most excitement when they asked him about what's your career goal at this point at 42? He wants to pitch till he's 45 to get 300 wins. It's not about a team or anything. It's all self-centered. 300 wins, baby. I just don't see how he's going to have to pitch more than that. He's not going to be a 15, 20 game winner for the next 3 seasons, Eric. The guy's going to have to pitch till he's 48, 49 years old to get another 35 or 40 wins.
I don't give a shit about that. Don't give a shit about his 300 wins. LD, the negativity crying and whining in here tonight is ridiculous. Well, there's a reason why, LD. We've seen this for the last 6 years. LD, we've seen this for the last 6 years, and we're starting to see the same with a new president of baseball operations, okay? That's all I'm saying. Was it nice that they got Willie Adames? Yes, they were. It was. That was fantastic. But what have you done since then? Nothing. And I'm tired of it, man. I'm just tired of it. As a San Francisco Giants fan, I'm telling you, me specifically, I'm not speaking for everybody. You guys can feel whatever you want to feel. But for me, I fucking hate it, man. And I'm tired of it. It gets old. It gets real freaking old. They missed on who are you going to get for a starting pitcher next year on the free agent market? There's nobody. There's nobody. So you're rolling with whatever you have, man. You're rolling with whatever. Are you telling me Webb, Ray, Verlander, Hicks, and Harrison is going to get it done?
Tell you what, Gold Rush, if Eric and I are going to stop being upset that the team isn't that bad, let's be upset that they're not that good.
It's a 500 team, guys.
Yep. It didn't get better or worse. It's the same.
That's the problem.
And when people come in the chat, doesn't it piss you off, Eric? Guys are it's not that bad. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Let me get this point out, and then you could go. They're a 500 team. Yeah, they might be plus or minus 3 or 4 games, right? Yeah, sure. They might finish at 85. They may finish with freaking 78 wins. That's where they're at. They're 500. And I'm tired of seeing 500, man.
500 doesn't cut it.
I'm tired of it. And now I'm starting to think, remember, it wasn't that long ago. Remember Andrew Baggerly? What was it that he said? They weren't going to spend a whole lot of money. Well, they're right up against it now.
Don't even talk about Vladdy.
Again, guys, I have been doing nothing since the hiring of Buster Posey. I have been doing nothing but saying, guys, be patient. Don't panic. Things are going to come around. Right? Have I not been saying that? Ever since freaking October, I've been saying, hey, guys, everything is going to be okay. Have patience. I kept doing the sonar. Captain Posey's in the depths. What else am I supposed to do?
I don't know.
Nothing
Mike,
else is going to happen. Nothing out there. There's going to be no trade. There's going to be no damn signing of another free agent.
And if you think we're trading to get Vladdy Guerrero, he'll be out of here.
That ain't happening.
They're 3 months.
Trading for Vlad. Look, they're not trading for Vlad. They're not going to get freaking Kyle Tucker next year. No, it's not happening. It's not happening. How do I know that?
It just is.
I don't know that, but I'm done. I'm done coming on the show. Mario, not Mario, sorry, Mike. I'm done coming on this show and saying, yeah, the Giants are going to do a trade. Yeah, they should be able to pick up this free agent. I'm done. I've had enough. I'm done doing it. The Sasaki the video, that thing's gone. I'm done. Hey, if it happens, it happens. Congratulations. But I'm done.
No sense getting your hopes up, Eric.
I'm sorry. Willie Adames and Justin Verlander isn't getting it done. And look, are you going to be able to get everything done in 1 year? No. But you know what would have been nice? It would have been nice to get some starting pitching, because there's no starting pitching coming down the pike as far as free agents are concerned next year. So go get the pitching, and then if you could get the bat next year, that's fine. I'm just whatever, dude.
It's a shame that you got rid of my favorite little meme. Remember when you had Soto looking at the sinking ship?
Oh,
it would be fitting tonight, wouldn't it? Hey, guys! And that ship is still going down, Eric. It's going down. It would be fitting. I don't know.
I'm frustrated.
You know what I'm going to do after the show, Eric? I was thinking, I know it's early. I'm going to sit down and look at the schedule. I got to see. We got Cincinnati to start on the road. I'm going to take a look at the schedule. I'm just going to try to mentally figure out myself. And I'm going to follow, because I already have my chart up to see how long it takes the Dodgers to lose 36 games, Eric.
I've had enough. I could care less how many games that I don't care who they're playing. I'm just pissed off, dude. That's just me.
What's it going to take, guys? They come out of the gate and they win about 7 of the first 20. Will you believe us then? I don't know. A lot of guys still say, Eric, don't give up hope. It's hard to give up hope when you've already given up.
I've been doing nothing for the last freaking, what is this? 3 months, 4 months almost.
Sinuses are bad today. Rough day all around, Eric.
Stupid, man.
You went live. I was still in bed. I'm working overnights again tonight. So it's going to be a long night. I'm going to talk about it on my show tonight.
It's so damn frustrating, guys. I got honestly, I got nothing. I got nothing for you guys on how this team is going to be better going forward.
Abraham, you tell me. Did Posey think he'd just make a call and people would come running at discount prices? Buster, is it really you? Yeah. It ain't working out, Eric.
Yeah, I know. Alex. Yes, I know. Talk us off the ledge. I ain't talking. Hey, Senior, I'm on the ledge with y'all. There ain't no talking anybody back.
Lee, we don't know what we're getting. Hopefully good things. Wade, I'm out on Wade. Ramos, let's hope he has a good year. Yep. Adames brings what Adames brings. Chapman couldn't hit with runners in scoring position. Encarnacion only got from a goddamn Mexican league. Yaz, oh boy. Fitzgerald, Huff, forget it. This is not a damaging lineup, Eric. This is middle. This isn't even middle of the pack, dude.
Oh, okay. He's messing around. He's messing with us.
Well, that's
basically you're not too far for the truth. You're not too far for the truth.
That's the scary
You're not far for the damn truth.
That's it. People wonder why I got high blood pressure, man. Holy crap. Being a Giant fan is no picnic, man.
Brother,
I like Encarnacion too. But when you're saying, oh, look, we got this guy, Encarnacion, they got him because nobody wanted him in a Mexican league, Eric. Is that where we're getting our talent these days? Let's just go get him in a Mexican league. A guy that the Miami Marlins cut loose is playing in Mexico. Eric, seriously. Maybe what I said in August, burn it down and start over. Ain't too bad, Eric.
Jim, that guy's gone. That guy's gone, Jim. I'm sorry. Line up Matt Chapman for an interview. He said players were calling him to play here.
Who? Oh, what do we got?
Remember, Matt Chapman. When he got that extension, guys are calling me.
I think he's calling them saying, stay away, stay away. The fires are still burning.
Yes, Rick. With what's going on with the damn Padres? Absolutely. Whatever. He wants to get into the middle of all that crap. What's going on with ownership? Who knows what's going to happen? They don't have a TV deal. Hey, all right, that's fine. I guess it really doesn't affect them because it's international money. But hey, all right, have at it, buddy.
And don't come in and talk about the Padres. At the end of the day, the Padres have a better team than we do. Better team. We didn't even get better. We didn't get better than the Padres. Sure as hell ain't the Dodgers. Arizona, it's going to be a battle to see who got better in this offseason. Eric, fourth place team. Pisses me off. No, hey, I'll have no skin in the game, man. I got my basketball tickets. I ain't renewing the baseball tickets. I'm a little pissed off. I'm not as pissed off, it seems, as you, but Giants didn't want my money, Eric. They didn't want my money.
Instant. You know what's crazy? The A's signed Severino, and the Giants couldn't do anything on par as far as pitchers.
Jesus Christ, Eric. What if he goes? what if you see Roki playing for the Sacramento Ball Club?
Oh, man.
Challenge? There it is. And Eric, the guys, and you and I are guilty of it too. When are we going to stop talking about it's a pitcher's ballpark if pitchers aren't going to come here?
Can't say that no more.
No, I'm not saying that anymore. I'm off the pitcher's ballpark crap.
Can't say that no more.
Nope.
Marcus says we got better compared to our roster last year, which is yes, but worse relative to the division. Correct. Yeah. 100%. 100%, Marcus. He's right on that.
How much better did we really get?
Oh, we did.
How much better?
Yeah, we did. We got better. Look, better is relative, right?
It's very relative.
Right? So, are we better at shortstop? Yes. Are we getting better with Fitzgerald at second base all year? To be seen. Ramos, hopefully he's going to be better, since the year he had last year, but we don't know. We'll see. But again, you're talking 500 baseball. Look, is this team going to be really competing for the look, games haven't started yet. I get it. You got to wait for the games to start. I understand it.
Stop it.
Hold on. Because hold on. Because there is something to that, right? Miracle Mets, right? No one expected them, and they did something. So
where's Tom?
That's besides the point. I'm just saying, baseball's funny that way. You got a lot of teams. You got a lot of I'm talking about the Giants. They got a lot of teams that they got to leapfrog to try to get into a third wild card. We're talking like 6 or 7 teams, Glenn.
Eric, we're going to play like the Pittsburgh Pirates on the field because they act like the Pittsburgh Pirates in the front office.
And here we go.
God.
How much of this was ownership and how much of this was Farhan?
JB, you're really going out there thinking this.
What's up, Bogser?
80 team. 82 and 80? Do you think they're going to 500 ball club?
It's 500.
I have my doubts.
It's 500. It's a 500 ball club.
I think we finish below 500, Eric.
You think so? I think we're going to be right there. It could either be a few games above or a few games behind. If you're within 4 games of 500, you're a 500 team.
Good. You didn't do well in math class then.
That's what I'm saying. You're a 500 team. Again, mid.
We don't have a 500 pitching staff, Eric. We'll play 500 against the bad teams to the average teams, and the other teams are going to spank us, man. Don't make it, Eric.
No, here we go. No. Stop, real quick.
Don't make excuses.
No, I'm not making.
We're going to be a 500.
So who should we blame? Should we blame Farhan again? Farhan was bad in something other than just what he did. I'm talking about strategy. No. I'm talking about as trying to go out there and get free agency and all that stuff.
Posey.
So who should we blame? Should
Posey.
we blame Farhan?
Posey.
Or should we blame?
Farhan's gone, Eric. Farhan's gone. He's not building this team for next year.
Listen.
Posey.
Listen. Ownership.
Posey.
It comes down to ownership. Because if you're doing the same thing, the same thing that you did with Farhan as you're doing with Posey, then it has to be ownership.
It's Posey.
It's ownership.
He's part ownership, and he's not.
Farhan's
gone.
No.
Well, you can say what you want. No more excuse.
No. Greg Johnson. He's the final man, dude. Posey owns like probably 1 or maybe even less than 1% of the freaking organization. Greg Johnson owns almost 30%. He's the one that calls the shots.
So Charles Johnson said, don't give him opt-outs. Greg, sorry. I keep saying Charles. Greg Johnson said, don't give him out. Don't give him those outs.
Nope. You know what it was? Because at that point, it was about giving him the money. Because if you gave him the money, opt-outs would have not mattered.
Oh, well, I'm not, Eric, I'm not coming on the show making excuses tonight. Posey didn't
No,
get the
me
job
neither.
done. He dropped the
Me
ball
neither.
this offseason.
I'm not. It's the owner. I'm going to put it on ownership. And if you want to, you want to blame Posey again, you can to a certain extent, but I'm not putting it all in his lap.
I can tell. Did you?
Ownership.
I'm surprised you don't have a Buster Posey jersey, man. You're in his corner.
No,
you haven't come out.
but I got his Funko Pop.
Yeah, you tried to give it away, and the kids wouldn't even take it.
Yeah,
it's true.
The problem is, look, Buster Posey's been at the job for 3 months, so you can't put everything on him.
What do you mean you can't put it? Eric,
you can't.
Eric,
no.
My Minnesota Vikings lost tonight. They only lost 3 games all year. What do? They dropped the ball. They're gone. They're out. What do? They blew it. Posey blew it this offseason.
Wait. Did your general manager blow it for the Vikings, or did a certain quarterback blow it for the Minnesota Vikings?
Football's team game, man.
Oh, so is baseball.
No, then we don't need the pitching. We'll get it done with hitting, guys.
That's the problem. That's the problem. I don't know what happened. What happened?
Posey dropped the ball. Too many people thought, oh, Buster Posey's coming in here. Boy, he's gonna, you know what? He's a man of the people. He plays.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Ibrahim, 100%. Yeah. Manassian is a trade guru.
Damn, you're trying to get him wound up on me.
He's a guru, man.
Guy.
What? Everyone was touting this guy was part of all these trades with the Milwaukee Brewers, even though he was barely 20 years old, somewhere around there, right? He was in his early 20s. Yeah, he's in his early 20s, but he was the guy that was instrumental in the trades that happened in the Milwaukee Brewers. How about we say maybe it was Stearns that was probably involved in that? Not.
Eric's not a happy man tonight.
Going off the rails. Eric with another epic sports take.
Oh, you are off the rails tonight, Eric. I love it. Angry Glenn, no more. I've met my match.
Well, come on. I mean, come on.
I love it.
How much more do we got to see? This is the problem. How much more do we have to witness as a San Francisco Giants fan? And of course, the club's going to play it up. We got Willie Adames. We got Justin Verlander. And they're gonna roll with it. Whatever.
Hey, Benji, thanks, man. I played a little Cat Stevens last night. Benji? I'm back on oldies tonight, so
yeah, there you go. How could Roki not pass up playing with such a great mentor as Verlander?
Oh, stop it. Come on.
Right? Come on, let's go, man. Yeah. Shit.
How could I not rush down to Oracle Park and renew my tickets, Eric? How could I not? I wonder, Greg already has. Man, Verlander, he'll be all over that.
What's up, GI? That's the problem with legacy hires like Posey. They can only buy you so much time before the bona fides.
We are Valkyrie. Well, I'll be at the basketball next year, Eric. Yep. Fiddlesticks.
Architect. If I have to listen to Alex Pavlovich or Susan Slusser talking about how they have a chance, I'm going to lose it. Yeah, why not? Hey, look, you know what? The hell with it. You guys want to come on here and bitch? Come on here and bitch. I'll put it out there. No, Chardall, you're not coming on.
Are you broadcasting for the Giants front office? Wouldn't that be nice tonight? Eric? They'd be security.
Security. That's right. He's talking about this right here. He's talking about my background. All right, guys. The link is out there. Anyone wants to pop in, hit
right on, Rounder. I ain't renewing. I told Eric before the show, I'm just going to go. We'll go to some games. Why invest in something when they're not spending my money wisely?
Thank you, Benji. Much appreciated, my friend.
We'll get juicy now. What kind of excuses are we going to have?
I was having fun talking yesterday. That was good times. Appreciate that. All right. Hey, what's up, Marcus?
Oh, you already put the link out. There it is.
Oh, man. There's nothing good to say.
Yeah. I mean, right, Marcus? Right? Come on. Marcus, feel me, right? I mean, the Giants, the one thing, starting pitching, that shouldn't have been that hard, you know?
It really shouldn't have been that hard. I mean, It's a matter of, to me, it's not so much like who they did or didn't sign. It's that I feel like as a fan base, we don't know what's going on, and we don't really have an idea of what their vision is. And I feel like if they had from the start told us, like, I mean, they kind of did from the start tell us they're performing austerity measures, they're cutting payroll, they're getting onto the CBT, and we just kind of didn't believe them. We thought, oh, they're in the running for all these great players, they're going to spend the money. But I feel like we, as fans, we're not really led in direction to believe that we are going to become a winning ball club.
No.
Yeah.
If they had told us at the start, hey, this year, if we get our guy for the right price, we'll make the signings. But our goal this year is to stay under the CBT so that when Eldridge comes up, we can spend big in the next offseason. If they had some sort of clear direction for us, then it would feel better, even though we would be in the same position. But the fact that we are so in the dark as fans and we don't have any faith in the ownership to spend money to make sure that we're a winning ball club makes it suck. Makes it so that we don't feel confident in buying tickets to the games or buying merchandise to support the team.
Hey, and Marcus, talk to me. And here's the problem, right? Sure, I'm not gonna sit there and say the Giants can't get anyone. Sure, if they can, they can. Whatever. I'm not gonna sit here and advocate for it. I'm not gonna sit here and think that it's gonna happen. I've done that. I've had enough. But next year, if your starting pitching doesn't work out, you're screwed because there's no starting pitchers next year in free agency, man.
That is true. I mean, we have a lot of untested young pitchers. That's something we do have. We have untested young pitchers. Will they be big league ready? Will they be big league quality? We don't know.
Right.
And historically, pitchers, don't have the best conversion rates into, great starting pitchers.
Even little Wilmer Flores bailed on me tonight. Vince, talk to us. How you feeling tonight?
So
wait, hold on. Let Marcus. Go for it, Marcus.
They're really going to have to step up to salvage the season, and we have a lot of young guys that are out there that are going to be in our rotation and in the starting lineup. So if by some miracle they all step up, we could have a winning team, but it's very unlikely. Obviously, like
miracle
gambling on all these players is not a good plan.
Go for it, Vince.
No, I think Marcus is right on about that. I think I don't think the Giants will ever come out and be completely honest of what they're going to do. I think that's how they always have been. I think that's how they always will be. What scares me is that there's all this hope. There's always hope with the Giants.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it to believe it. Yeah, I mean, I know we're looking for to spend money next year. Well, I feel like we hear that a lot. And yeah, we got Adamas. That's great. I'm not saying we didn't do anything, but 9 out of the 10 times we end up never getting who we want. And we're usually left out without getting that player. So I have no faith, at least this year and maybe next year too, and future years, until the Giants show us that, they are going to be the bride and not the bridesmaids here. We got to see what they're able to do. And they haven't proved to the fans and to the other people out there that they are worth it. If that's the case, players would be wanting to come here, and they haven't been wanting to come here. So,
and Turd Ferguson, Vince, Turd Ferguson's comment kind of is in line with what you're saying. Can attract legit starting pitching without having a legit offense that can prove they can support the starting pitching. Can't blame these guys for saying, no way am I going to San Francisco at this particular time. Kind of what you're saying, it's.
I mean, I think we kind of always knew. I mean, look, I know there was some hope about Sasaki.
It was all just, I just thought
majority of people knew. I think he wasn't going to be here. And I think
you can say that, but there's nothing wrong with this as a landing spot for him.
Well,
he said he wanted a non-media market.
Nobody's saying it isn't, but you're forgetting I think this, in my opinion, I feel Sasaki and where he was supposed to go has been long determined before all this stuff. And I think he already had planned out where he wanted to go.
Oh, you
And
know
I think
what?
it was all this hoops about, let me interview everybody and let's go check all these teams out. Maybe it might have persuaded him a little bit, but I think in his mind, it was Dodgers, Padres, Dodgers, Padres, Dodgers.
Yeah,
Padres.
you know
And that's it.
not once, I believe, twice, Eric, right? Twice. His agent has come out and done a little presser too. And, this isn't decided. What's he doing coming out doing all that? I think it was. I think it's,
Oh, yeah.
I think it was
I feel like it's been decided for a while now.
Just PR nonsense.
Exactly, Marcus.
He's just been deciding between the twos the whole time. Like,
so you're saying we were led down the primrose path? Is that what you're saying?
Lane. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I
Do
think,
your homework, Eric. Go home and do your homework.
But isn't that always the case, though? I mean, the Giants get used more than we really kind of use the players back.
But you
right?
know what? And here we thought it was Farhan getting played.
Oh, I think Farhan has been. I've never been a fan of the guy. I think he's made a lot of stupid mistakes. But I also think he's done the best he can based on how ownership is. I think ownership set away how they wanted to do things every year, and I think Farhan was able to do the best he can at some moments. I mean, he made a lot of mistakes, but I think Marcus said this, and he was right on about this. The Giants can never really fully rebuild. It's too big of a market, too much going on. They won't do it. They're like the Yankees. They just won't do that. And unfortunately, we're paying the price because, again, like I said a couple of days ago, the more you don't do something these next couple of years, the more Chapman's going to suck it up in the next probably 3 years. Adames is going to regress a little bit. Other people that you're depending on are not going to be as good. And you're right. Pitching should have been what we should have attacked this year, and maybe we could do some trades next year. But the word we keep on saying is maybe and hope instead of we are going to do it, and we did do it.
Well, I'm throwing it out there to see if it sticks. I'm telling you right now, you guys, you all think I'm nuts, which you do anyway.
And I hate to say this, we used to be the San Francisco fucking Giants, and
he's going to
Toronto. We used to be something big. I mean, what are we now?
I have a question.
There you go, Vince.
Other than Bonds, who are the free agents that we've signed that have been?
Not even that. It's the presence which you brought to the team. Not even so much the big free agent. I mean, it's like people who wanted to go. I mean, yeah, you didn't get a crazy people, but you had Ellis Burks. Now, to me, I thought that was an exciting player. You brought in Hunter Pence again. Not knock your
and you
socks out,
extended
guy,
him.
But it was
a trade. But you're
we trade extended. I just mean like in free agency, have the Giants really proven to be successful at hunting free agents?
No,
ever. Other than Bonds.
Well, okay. Well, let me hold on. When yes, they have done well with free agents. They just haven't done well with the big free agent. Look,
never got the big
no. That's
Aubrey
what I mean.
Huff. You know what I'm saying?
No. I'm not saying that like our
Angel
free agent
Pagan,
signings have ended up bad. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Right.
What I'm saying is that like
the big fish.
Yeah, it's like have we ever landed the white whale?
No.
Like other than Bonds, like we haven't. And I wonder if maybe our expectations are also a little too high.
Well,
like in terms of free agency, not in terms of winning.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Like I don't know. Like our winning teams, our winning formula, I guess you would say, has really always been built around the homegrown talent, right? Like
and pitching, yeah.
Well, like recently, I wouldn't say all the time.
No, I mean when I say that, I mean like in the last 2 decades or whatever.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I mean, but what I'm trying to say is the Giants are the 5th, team that makes the most revenue. And you would think we were a team that was making maybe middle of the order revenue shares and not doing nearly as well from what we spend. Ownership has never wanted to spend, never has spent. And I know you said the expectations are maybe more than it should be, but why not? Why not have higher expectations? Why not expect ownership to do more? Why not expect the teams and players to want to come play with us? Like, why not have that? And why can't they produce that?
I'm definitely not saying in terms of like what we should want from the ownership. I just mean like what they've shown us they're willing to do and like what we should realistically expect from them, not like what we want them to do, if that makes sense.
Don't want to leave him in there. You want to bring Paul in, Eric?
Yeah, if you want to, go for it. Oh, bless you.
Earthquake.
Sorry, yeah, that was.
It's all good.
Geez, Marcus, your sinuses are as bad as mine. It sounds. Man.
No, that wasn't me sneezing.
It's all good. No worries.
Well, who do we got? We got Paul. Paul, what's up?
What's up, my brothers? How we doing?
Paul on line 5. Talk to us. What are you feeling today?
Well, I think I'm optimistic. I think it's interesting. Like we had a talk last week. I'm on the scouting side, right? And I'm still a fan, but it's interesting to hear the fan side. So I kind of, in my mind, I'm laughing a little bit because I'm just not used to like the emotions getting so high. Like,
Yeah,
we didn't get what we wanted. Oh my God. Oh my, the way I look at baseball in any sport, you worry about you. You don't worry about the Dodgers. You don't worry about the Padres. You worry about you.
There you go.
What I mean by that is we need to be the best version of us. And I always go back to player development. And let's be real. Farhan is Farhan. It's in the past. We can't even say that word anymore because it's over. But what we can do is literally look into the present and the future. This is a 2 to 3 year rebuild. Period. End of story.
Maybe longer than that.
Maybe longer. I agree. But
Yeah.
what has to happen is we have to start winning slowly, gradually, and getting better than last year. So if we get above 500, that's a start. But we need to get in the playoffs in year 2 or year 3. And then we need to sustain that every year because what happens to these guys, especially when I had my travel teams at the highest level, good players only want to play with good players. They don't give a crap where you're located. Look at where the Dodgers are located. They're in the ghetto. No one gives a crap about that location. Look at our location. We have the best field in the big leagues, in my opinion. But the problem is we're selling. We have Buster Posey. He's great. The problem is we haven't won for many years.
Posey's not behind the plate.
And Posey's not behind the plate, right? So I think we need to take a deep breath. We're all Giants fans. The way I look at it, we have to bleed orange and black, regardless of the situation, because regardless, we're going to ride or die with this team. Even though we don't want to admit it, we're always going to be Giants fans, unless some of us are like thinking of jumping off just because they're not happy, which that's hard to believe. But if you are with those fans, then unfortunately, you're not meant to be a true Giants fan, right?
Paul, if you're talking about rebuilding in the next couple of years, you're saying, okay, get into the playoffs in year 2, and you're going to rebuild this thing slowly, not in year 1. Then
So
talk to me. Tell me, what was the benefit of signing
There you go.
a
Adames.
1-year old?
No.
We
How
talked
about or
about that
Adames
already.
or extending Chapman?
It's a good
It
point.
just doesn't make sense.
It's a good point. They're going to be losing
pieces?
for 2 to 3
Haphazard.
years. The next half of their career, we should start winning.
But that's when they're on the decline. That's
Maybe,
see what I'm saying?
maybe
Not Adames, but Chapman.
maybe,
That's
right?
why I think it's better to grow from youth up, develop. Just that's why I said
agree.
load this thing. You're signing.
You can't
You're talking about
blow
winning
up.
2 years, but signing 42-year-old pitchers. I don't
But-
get it.
You can't blow up the system. Like we're still
Yeah.
a team. We're still a big market team.
Verlander was, we all know this. Verlander, we were desperate. And what we
Was
don't
it a
know-
pivot? Hey, Paul, was that a panic pivot to go to Verlander?
I think so.
I think
To
so.
some extent. I think so. But we have to remember, and we're not in these rooms, but I could guarantee you they've exhausted all their options.
I think
There
they
you
did.
go.
Okay. And at the end of the day, they
That's
can
bad.
negotiate all they want. But if players don't want to come to the Giants, they can't beg them.
Nope.
So even though we got Verlander, which sucks to some people, guess what? It's better than nothing. Because if we don't get Verlander, we're really screwed.
I think Verlander is a marginal improvement on what we were before we signed him. I mean, we need people to pitch the innings.
How many wins do you get next year?
Oh, come on! Don't bring up pitcher wins. Come
I'm
on.
bringing up pitcher wins. How many wins does he get next year?
It depends on the run
Who cares
support.
about the
Like,
wins?
How do I know? You know, it's
That's
like
how about you want to talk about ERA maybe.
I'm asking how many wins is if we're getting better as a pitching staff and we didn't play 500
No,
balls,
because the thing is,
are we getting more wins next year?
because he can
Just
pitch.
remember. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Go ahead.
No, he could pitch a fantastic game, but if the team doesn't score enough runs, well, he could give up just 3 runs in 6 innings, but the Giants can't score freaking 2.
But if the Giants score
gets a
6,
loss.
he gives up 7. This
Okay.
is just
Let's be
And
real.
Marcus made a comment a couple of minutes ago that I'm getting tired of among everybody in Giants land. We're a big market team. We're going to start. What makes us a big market team? Are you going to say because we make money? We're not a big market team anymore.
They're still making money.
Well,
They're still
we
making
are.
money.
We are
really not a big market team. Why are we the Pittsburghs or the Miamis of the world now? We're not a big market team.
We make and spend significantly more than them.
Okay, let's be real.
Again, you spend money. What do you got to show for it?
Let's be real. Snell, we got lucky with Snell last year. Even though he sucked the first half, whatever, we still got lucky to get Snell. We were down to the very last minute, and he had nowhere else to go. We picked him up. And the only reason why we picked him up is because he had a relationship with Melvin. And he also had a relationship with the pitcher that's on the or was on the Indians. What's his name? He's gone now. Starter. What's that?
Talking about Cobb?
Cobb. He was friends with Cobb because Cobb was his mentor with the Rays. Okay. So that was the only reason why we got Snell. Now let's go to Chapman. The only reason why we got Chapman was because of Melvin and Matt Williams.
Yes.
Okay. So without having those guys there, we don't even have those players because why? It is so hard to sell a losing product.
Well, apparently Chapman can't. He said, I'm going to make calls. I'm bringing guys in. Where are those guys?
Let me go find that, by the way.
Where are they?
He shouldn't have said that, but let's be real. What if the Giants don't even like those guys? And what if those guys aren't even signable? So I think he might have just said that because he was excited. He was getting his money and he was just trying to.
Yeah, but you know what? Come on. You can't. He's a professional. He needs to know better, no?
Well, if someone's giving you $100 million.
Oh, I get it.
And you're kind of answering questions. You're excited. You're not really thinking about everything. You're selling the Giants at that point, right?
Oh, well, it was
but don't you want to play on a team that's
like Verlander today? I'm happy to be here, and I'm searching for my 300th win, and I want to play till I'm 45. And you know what? He's happy to get a paycheck from the Giants this year.
Now, let's get real. Verlander doesn't sign unless he doesn't have any respect of Posey. Okay? Adames doesn't sign unless he doesn't have any respect of Posey. Chapman doesn't sign unless he doesn't have any more respect of Posey. Like, Posey's closing these deals. They're buying into.
They're going to make lots of memories this year.
Well, they're buying into Posey's vision. But I have a funny feeling because this is all about player development and this is all about getting the right mindset day one.
Paul, what did you think about the comment today?
Which
we
one?
Just touched briefly about it. Did you hear the presser? Did you hear? And
did
Eric? Yeah. What's up with that?
Come on.
Well, I think
it's so
meant
easy.
Jung Ho Lee. I think he meant Jung Ho Lee, to be honest. But
how do you mix up that? That's a totally different
really
game.
It's really easy. I mean,
if he slipped, then I'll take the guy from the Padres. He's definitely a good little second baseman.
I've been going to school with mostly Asian people most of my schooling life, and this just happens all the time. It's like you just mix people up with that have the same background. It's extremely common.
My wife is Asian. She's Chinese. If I said that, she
I hope he actually
you don't mix up your wife's name.
Slipped.
Yeah, she'd be
maybe some guy that you've never met before and some other guy you haven't met before that both play in a division that you don't play in. It's not that hard to mix people up.
Well, Paul's talking about Kim's coming in, great player, and Verlander. I just think we're getting older, and I don't see a vision. I don't see the vision. Buster's got a vision. I don't see it.
Okay, Fitzgerald's going to get better this year. Okay, so that's a guy who's coming through the system.
You think so? I mean,
you hope so.
He should.
Signs indicate that he will.
Okay. The only thing that sucks about Fitzgerald, he doesn't have true baseball instincts. If you remember last year, He did some bonehead mistakes. He got picked off at first when he's playing the Yankees.
That's right.
He did some weird shit on the bases on another game. So that kind of, I don't know if that'll come up later, but maybe he learned his lesson. Maybe he'll get better at that. Oh, he's stealing bases. He doesn't know how to read the pitcher and get a good jump. That's another thing that I got on him.
He screwed up defensively. Remember the game and then he blamed it on Luciano. They had
that pissed me off too. That pissed me off. But I think he's going to mature a little bit. I think he's going to get a little bit better. He's going to have better coaching. And the thing about him, he's got tools. He's athletic. He's got the power. Imagine Jeff Kent when he hit 25, 35 home runs a year or 30 home runs. That could be the closest thing to a Jeff Kent that we see.
Well, I'm not about to compare him to Jeff Kent.
But I'm saying power at second base is what we want. We want power. We got power at short. We got power at second base. Elridge is going to bring the power at first base. Matt Chapman's going to bring some pop. Okay, we can get Bailey to get 10 to 15 home runs with a high batting average. Here we go. And then we've got some speed in the outfield. We got Ramos that's supposed to hit 30 to 35 home runs. In right field, Matos can steal that position and hit 25 home runs a year. And then who knows? We pick up a free agent. We're right there. The only thing we don't have right now is depth, which is what I said in the comments earlier. And we need a couple, maybe an arm or two in the bullpen, and maybe one more starter as a backup starter just in case somebody gets hurt. But again, this is what we got, man. I mean, I think we get the culture going. We get the winning going. We start thinking about, like, just play the game correctly. Don't make mistakes. Play the game. Bunt, execute, runners on, move them over, hit behind the runner.
But when has that ever been their game? Was this going to be a complete culture shock this year? We're going to change the whole system? That's not Giants baseball.
This is how Bochy won. Bochy won a lot of games doing the little things right.
Less than a decade ago.
Been all about hitting it hard, hitting bombs.
You can win 15 more games on good pitching, good defense, and executing at the plate. You can steal some wins if you do the little things right.
I think you can too. But Paul, no disrespect, I don't.
I get it. No, I get it. And again, boys, everyone's got their opinion, and I totally get it.
Average team. And
I think they're going to be a little bit above average.
Marcus, but guys say this is a big market team. Well, it's a big market. This isn't a big market team. This isn't a big market team.
Well,
this team competes on the same, to me, the Pirates.
Well, we're better than the Pirates.
Let's go back to the 3 World Series that they won. How did they win those World Championships?
If you double the Pirates payroll,
but they drafted the right guys, right? So there was a core group of guys they brought up in the system, right? So you got Matt Cain, who is through the farm system, Lincecum through the farm, Posey through the farm, Bumgarner through the farm. Keep going. Who else came through the farm? Panic. He came through the farm.
Panic. So hold on. Let's go. Panda
Crawford, came through the farm. Crawford.
Panic.
Yep.
Belt. Posey.
Yep.
Lincecum. Kane. Bumgarner.
Yep.
Romo. Wilson.
Okay. Wilson. Yep. You're right. Okay. So.
And they're trying to do that. They're trying to. We've had guys come up. You just mentioned some of them. Matos, Ramos, Fitzgerald.
Okay, I'm looking at the roster right now.
They try to piece old guys around them, and they're not. I hate to steal Dan's line, but just in the middle lane. They're not rebuilding. They're not.
Right.
They're not rebuilding. They're not going young.
You know what my argument has been? We've got to get the right scouts. We got to start drafting the right players. Meaning, the talent can be there, but you got to hit on the emotional stuff. If these guys are immature, these guys in Dominican, if these guys are immature or there's something going on mentally and they're just not ready for the next step, we're going to miss on those guys because they're not going to make it. Look at the dude that's struggling right now. We're converting him into the outfit, Luciano. Look at him. He came up because he was mentally immature, unfortunately, and now it's taken him longer to mature. And unfortunately, the scout might have missed on that, and this is what we're facing now. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to say. We have to hit on the mental part, not just the tools. We have to hit. Even though every team wants the tools, it doesn't matter.
And here's the problem is the Giants are nowhere near set up like they were. Look, Sabian, he had a group of lieutenants that he trusted. He valued that their knowledge and their and what they had to say.
Yeah.
Does Buster Posey have that same? We don't know. Because anytime you heard about Sabian, you heard about Dick Tidrow, you heard about John Barr, you heard about Ned Coletti, of course. He had a good group. And not only that, he was a freaking scout. He came up as a scout. So he had a certain lean, right?
Right.
And Posey doesn't have that, man. He doesn't. He didn't come. Yeah, he played the game, but he wasn't a scout like Sabian. Was Sabian? How long was he a scout for? Long
Years.
time, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like those guys knew how to vet guys, and they knew to get the right person. You got to get the tools. Don't get me wrong.
Yes,
you got to get the right person inside,
and you had to hit on those drafts. Look, they started hitting the draft in what was it, 2004, 2005?
Yeah,
and look, they didn't win their first World Series until 2010.
We have to hire or train, however you do it. We got to start getting scouts that know what the hell they're doing, because no matter what, if we have losing seasons and we get better draft picks for the year prior or coming up, and then we still get the wrong talent, it doesn't matter who we're drafting. We're still getting the wrong player. And that's the problem with the fans. Why does the farm system suck? Well, because the scouts aren't hitting on the right players. That's exactly what's going on.
That's fair.
Hey,
and
Eric,
that's the problem. And that look, we're not even talking about drafting the players yet. We're trying to get the foundational pieces in there.
Correct.
So we know who to draft. I mean,
Correct.
we could be quite a ways away.
Yep.
If you're trying to build it again through the farm.
Yep.
It's going to be a long time, man.
Eric,
And we've already wasted 6 years.
You got Paul, you got Vince, you got Marcus, you got the guys in the chat. Some of them are talking. They're not going to remember who Ohtani is in 20 years. That's you. I'm going to go over and play some oldies and 90s. You guys have a great night. I've had enough.
Fair enough, Glenn.
We'll come see you, buddy.
He's out of here.
Good grief.
Love you, buddy.
See you, brother.
Oh, man, I can't blame you, man. I can't blame you. Not one.
I get it. It's frustrating as hell. I get it. But we have to be real and really start looking at this roster and just going, where is the common problem? It starts with scouting.
That's fair.
And if they don't have the right scouts, they need to either fire them or they need to get them cross-checked, or not only cross-checked, they need to go through the right scouting guy to really vet these guys before they sign off and draft them come draft day. Because I don't know the politics. I'm telling you, sometimes a scout is good friends with the scouting director. Sometimes a scout is good friends with the cross-checker. And sometimes they're buddy, and they're like, you like this guy? I like this guy, but the guy's not the right guy, right? And then all of a sudden, they buy into the bullshit, the politics. They draft him because my buddy's a scout and I want to help my buddy out. All of a sudden, we just lost another year and we just wasted these draft picks because politics ate us up.
That's fair.
And that's the shit that happens behind the game that nobody sees.
Right. And, and Paul, to your point, and you got to do more than just look. Ultimately, the best success is to build through your own system. I get it. But you still got to be able to hit on trades. You still got to be able to hit on free agents. If you're not doing all three, man, you're doing yourself a disservice. You got to be able to supplement, because look, you cannot field a team of a 26-man roster of entirely homegrown. The Giants didn't even do that during the World Series years. They had to go out there. They made shrewd trades. You got Cody Ross, you got Pat the Bat, you got Javier Lopez, Jeremy Affeldt. You did sign Tim Hudson. What other trades did they do? I mean, they were able to get a lot of that type of stuff done. Of course, Hunter Pence, Marco Scudero, Angel Pagan. I mean, you got to be able to put a team together by using all the different means available to you, right? And
you want to know something funny? And I just thought about this, Eric. It's the funniest stuff, and I don't even know why it goes back to the Rays. But Adames, guess what farm system he came from?
Adames, Tampa Bay, yeah.
Okay. Snell, guess what farm system he came from?
Tampa Bay, Right.
Okay. They're doing something right because they're getting the right guys, and look how they end up.
Correct.
I'm just throwing that out there. I mean,
That's fair. Yeah,
not
that's
to
something
say they're
Tampa Bay has
always
been known
right,
for.
but
That is something Tampa Bay has been known for, is being able to draft and develop. No doubt about it.
correct. So we need to have that same mindset. Like, we need to get the right players. They saw something in those guys when they were prospects. They projected them to be the players they are today. They couldn't afford to keep them because look at the franchise, unfortunately.
Right.
But
Right.
those are the players we need to start scouting, guys that have that kind of big league impact, right?
Right.
So again, not to say they know everything, but they're very successful, and we just need to get some of that flavor up in the Giants.
And here, let's see. Let's take it a step further, Paul. Who was running the organization?
Friedman,
Yeah. And what's he doing in LA?
killing it.
He's killing it.
Killing
And
it.
look, but the thing is, this is what I'm talking about.
Yep.
He knows when he needs to pivot to certain way. He
Yep.
was able to draft and develop in Tampa Bay, but when he got to LA, he realized, hey,
Got money.
I got a little bit more to play with here.
Yep.
And
Yep.
he's tapping into the free agency and also being able to trade. So he knows what the hell he's doing, man.
That's the only thing Posey doesn't have right now is that business mindset like Friedman.
Yeah.
He's
That's
learning
fair.
that on the fly. But Posey's got the baseball acumen and the Hall of Fame stats. So I think that's a good play as well.
Hmm.
Now, Posey's never going to be a Friedman. Maybe that's okay, but he's got to go find a guy that can be like a Friedman to help him close like Friedman.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So you got to kind of work to your weaknesses, not always your
get you.
strengths.
Right. Look, when one area isn't working, maybe you got to go a different way. For example,
Yeah.
if your farm system's lagging behind, you got to be able to go and trade and free agent. If your farm system's humming, well, then you can rely less on trading and
Right.
free agents. But
Now, I said it's about, someone said in the chat, if it takes 3 to 4 years or whatever to build this thing, then why are we doing that if we sign Chapman? And we just talked about that. I said that that's kind of a realistic thing in my head, but I have a weird feeling that with player development and Posey working his magic slowly, because he's going to keep getting a couple guys here and there. He's going to surprise us, right? I have a weird feeling that 3 years might turn into 2 years, or that 2 years could turn into maybe this year, maybe, only because they may surprise us. And that's the cool thing about baseball. We don't know what we don't know.
Mhm.
You still got to play the game. On paper, you could be the best team on paper. The way the game works, you still got to play the damn game.
true.
You know, and again, it's hard because when you're a fan, you want to see instant gratification. Look at the Niners this year. They had the best roster. We thought they were going back to the Super Bowl, and look what they did. Tanked. Right?
Yeah.
It's humbling, right? You just never know. You could have the best roster in the world and still tank.
Here's the problem. Giants have been sucking it already for 3 years prior to this year. So that's the issue. It's not like the Giants have had just recent success, right?
Right.
As far as even within the last, like, we'll say 6 years.
Remember when the Niners used to suck like the Giants?
Oh, yeah, I know, dude.
And remember when they barely got to a playoff or barely had a winning season, and we were all fired up, and it took us like 3 years of winning. We're like, yeah, they're going to win all the time now. Now there's an expectation, which is good. But at the end of the day, man.
And here's the thing.
Go ahead.
And well, let's talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Sabian.
Love him.
Before here, let's take a look. I think he got hired in 96, right?
Uh-huh.
Hold on. And this is amazing, guys. We've gone down this path before in the past here. Let me see something.
Yeah, I grew up watching Jason Richardson on the Warriors, and those Warrior teams were not winning teams. From what I remember anyway. So as lifelong San Francisco sports fans,
I'm going to answer Daniel's question. He said, did I leave the Rays or did the Rays leave me? It's a good question.
Oh, okay.
I got to be politically correct because my boss at the time, Carlos, he had some issue with his bosses, and I don't want to get into the politics.
Fair.
So what happened was he left the organization, And there was a lot of crap going on. So what they did was they hired somebody to replace him.
He was your area scout, correct?
He was my area scout, but they hired someone to replace him to cover their ass because of some HR stuff going on. And I don't want to go like past that line, but I was a little bit pissed because they should have offered me the job, but the Rays had to hire this person just to protect themselves, if that makes sense.
Fair.
So once my boy left, I got a call from the Florida Marlins. My boy Cheese, he called me up and he asked me if I could just be his bird dog. By that time, I was busy and doing whatever. I said, I'll help you out, Cheese. So what Cheese used to do, he used to call me up and say, hey, man, I got a guy that I like at Sac State. Can you just take a look at him? I got him in the 10th round and tell me what you think. And I'd go watch this guy and I'd say, nope, I wouldn't give him 10th round money. I give him 15th round money because here's what I got on him. And we'd go back and forth for a couple days. And then come to find out the guy gets drafted, doesn't make it to the big leagues. And then me and Cheese go, yep, you're right. Okay, cool. Then there's more trust that we established. So I ran with Cheese for like 3 more years. Nice. And then I was like, I'm done with this scouting gig because there's not a lot of money unless you're the area guy. You only make 50, 60 grand maybe a year. Plus you get a free card, which is cool. All expenses paid for on the road. But I mean, if you really want to make money, you got to get up to like national cross checker or scouting director level. So that's the story.
Fair.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 96. First year under Sabian. Pretty bad. Lost 94 games, 4th of 4th. Look what they did the next year. He turned it around in 1 year.
Yep.
But the thing is, this is the difference. Brian Sabian understood the game. You know what I'm saying? He was a scout. He already had his quote unquote feelers out there. Granted, he did a lot of trades as well because he understood that the farm system probably wasn't where it should have been. But he went out there. He knew what it took to put the team together. He had a better understanding in how to perform in that function than Posey did. Right.
Yep.
And look what he did. Second, first, second. Then in 2005, it was kind of bad. From 2005 to 2009, wasn't it great? What happened in 2010, 2011, 2012?
He was drafting
though right here.
Yep. Building his team
he had
up.
success, but he knew. But the thing is, there's a difference between Brian Sabian and Buster Posey.
A Hall of Famer, and you got another guy who came up as a scout.
Yeah.
And he's a shrewd businessman, kind of cutthroat, but to the point.
Yes.
Right. And you either like his Italian mafia ways or you don't. He's kind of old school.
He's old school.
Yeah, which I like. And some people don't like it, but he knows exactly what he wants. He's going to get what he wants, or he's going to keep trying until he gets what he wants. Or he'll get rid of you if he doesn't get what you want, and then he's going to move on, right? But it is a different mentality. But I think, okay, without Posey, who else do we bring in as a scouting director? I mean, the head of scouting or head of operations. Who would take his position? Who would you like to see in that seat?
Yeah, I don't. Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Right. So if you ask the Giants fans right now in the chat, put down some names of who they would rather see to take Posey's place, and then let's have a little discussion about that.
Whew, yeah. Man, you know who I really wanted, and it was probably unreasonable.
Who's that?
Was bringing back freaking Brian Sabian.
Okay. Well, that's a good one, right? But you got to remember, he's a little older now.
Yeah, I think he's like, 68, something like that.
And I don't know if he has the same energy, but maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. I think that's a good one. It's a safe play.
Give Posey time, says Cryptic. Yeah, that's true. But this is the problem, Cryptic. And this is
I like that.
And I'm good with giving time. The problem is the Giants hung on to freaking Farhan too long, man. So now all you did is you prolonged the agony, so to speak. And now you're going to have to wait even longer for Posey to get his feet underneath of him. Man, it's just.
Here's how Friedman's going to screw up the Dodgers. You want to know why? He's going to hire Farhan.
No, he may not. He may decide to say because
That'd be the smartest thing he ever did.
Because Farhan was under him when he first
I
came
know.
up. Do you think he cared that he freaking left? Absolutely
He's
not,
like,
man.
deuces, I'm out. I'm just saying, you know, I like the innovative, the youth that Posey brings. It's a high risk, high reward. I think players respect him a lot more. I think it's a nice flow. I just think what he's going to have to do is learn as quickly as he can and put the right people in place to get the job done. That's going to be the trick, because I think even his GM right now is good, but he's learning too. And I think
was that just a safe pick?
I think so. That was his comfortable pick, right?
Because he was internal.
Yeah.
He didn't have to go outside the organization.
Yep. But if you think about it, his first year, you got to be careful, because if you butt heads with somebody right away, that could be detrimental too. You kind of want to have someone that's a yes man, at least your first year, maybe two, because you need to kind of slide into that role and figure out what's going on. But if you have someone that's challenging you every day and you don't even know what the hell you're doing, then it's going to be harder to kind of get ahead of this thing, right?
Right.
So I think it's a safe play, but I think eventually he's going to have to make a decision to get a better GM, or he may surprise us. Who knows?
And, I got tired. Will. It's pretty good. Everyone talking, he was, and I talked about this earlier. He was at the Brewers. No, he was like 23 or something like that. And he was, come on. It was old. It was freaking Stern.
So you think Theo Epstein could do a better job? I like that, Daniel. Daniel. That's good.
Epstein?
Yeah, he's a good one.
Yeah.
He's a very good one. Now, do you really think he can get us the free agents over Posey right now?
I don't, honestly, that's a great question.
I don't think in that,
right, Marcus. Yeah, you go for it, Marcus.
Look, if the ownership is willing to spend the money,
that's what it is.
Then they can get who they want.
Yep.
It's like at the end of the day, how many people are taking worse deals because of charisma or there's just very few of those people. And this off season, this free agency really felt like it was about writing the biggest check.
Yeah. The problem. Okay, so the Dodgers go over the cap every year, right? They just got money to burn.
Yep.
That's not cool. It's not fair. I know it sucks. I know they play these games. They go all these little tactics of how they go through all this money, whatever. But we're kind of like, we have to be smart, because if we go over, then there's penalties for next year and the draft penalties and all that other stuff.
Right. Only if you sign a player with a qualifying offer.
But then it goes back to, if you drafted well for the last 6 to 8 years, you wouldn't have this problem.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we have what one or two good draft picks from the last. I mean, not counting Tibbs because he's too recent. But it's like before Tibbs, we have 3 good first round picks from like that, 2 or 3 good first round picks.
And that's the thing, man. Like, okay, Eldridge. Let's just say Farhan did one good thing. He drafted Eldridge.
Was Bailey under Farhan as well?
Bailey was a good draft pick, but in my opinion, as a scout, I put Bailey in the 2nd round. A
lot of the redraft. I don't know anything about scouting.
And I'll tell you why. The way I look at scouting, at least how they taught me how to scout with the Rays, if you get a guy in the 1st round, he better be a Hall of Famer.
Interesting.
Is Bailey a Hall of Famer?
No.
I don't know anything about that. When they do the redrafts of that year's drafts, they always put Bailey way higher, like in the top 5 of the draft class.
Right.
Just in hindsight.
Let's go back in the draft. When they drafted Buster Posey, is Buster Posey a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
And where was Buster Posey drafted?
1st round.
1st round. So whoever drafted him out of Florida State, let's get the scout's name. That guy chose the right guy. He fought for the right guy. That was a hell of a pick. That's exactly what we need to do is hit on those draft picks. Tim Lincecum, that was a hell of a draft pick. Unfortunately, that delivery was not sustainable, but you got 3 good years out of him in the big leagues.
I mean, if you can draft a 2-time Cy Young Award winner,
right?
You can't.
That's not bad, right? It's not bad. Not bad at all. So they were right on Lincecum. Okay. So again, we have to start thinking like Bailey's good. I love Bailey. Don't get me wrong. I love
most teams miss in their first round picks.
But that's the problem. When you're a good scout, you don't miss. You know what the hell you're doing. And you got to have that standard as a scout. If you're going to work for the Giants, we're drafting the right guys in the right rounds. Period. End of story. Because we don't have time to go back 3 years from now, 5 years from now, and go, holy shit, we set the franchise back 6 years. That's messed up.
Like Farhan did.
I mean, like honestly,
I hate to say it, but yeah, unfortunately,
if you have a 50% success rate with your first round draft picks, you will be the best the best drafting team in the history of baseball.
I think Eldridge, if I'm right on Eldridge, and we'll see if I'm wrong, but based on what I've seen, and I want to go watch him up close because I want to hear the ball come off his bat. I think the bat speed's there. The power is unbelievable because he hits balls to all fields for power. I think that kid's going to hit 30 to 40 home runs a year easily once he gets a little bit more seasoning under his belt. The only thing I worry about, and the only thing, is his ability to play first base. And I think only because he never played first base until now. He was a pitcher and an outfielder. No, they called him a pitcher first baseman in high school.
Yeah, he was a two-way player. Yeah.
But I don't even know if that counts in high school, right? I don't even think.
You're not playing very hard.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And they even asked him last year when they went to the outfield. He was like, I don't even like to play the outfield. So the only thing I worry about, but I like Will Clark because they're sending Will Clark on special assignments to train him and get him up to speed. Will Clark is his guy in his corner. So if he can pick it up quickly and at least be functional where he can pick balls out of the dirt and catch the pop flies and, turn the double plays. He's got a rocket arm, obviously through 96, right? I think that kid's going to be a dude, like seriously, like an all-star type of player. And if he's a first rounder, we're going after the Hall of Famers. That guy could become a Hall of Famer. But he's got some work to do. That's the only thing at first base. That's the only thing I worry about. But everything else, great job, Farhan, on that pick. And the best part about him, look at how old he is.
Just turned 20, right?
Just turned 20. Yeah.
That is huge. You get a kid like that out of high school, that is huge. So anyways, if we can keep hitting on guys like that, we are going to be solid, right? So it sucks because, like the whole Roki thing, we shouldn't even be worried about it. We should have so many guys in the farm system that we could rebound right away and be like, we don't even need that guy. He's a bonus, but yeah, it is what it is, right?
And here's the problem. And again, I'll go back to this. The issue that I'm having is if they were to rebuild, they should have just rebuilt. They shouldn't have got the extended Chapman. They shouldn't have signed Willie Adames.
I don't know about that. I mean, I think again, if you're staying under the CBT, that's pretty much the same.
It sounds like they don't even want to get close to the CBT. They wanted to be under the damn 200 million.
Right. I mean,
and that's just pathetic.
The thing
is,
you
should at least go to the CBT.
You need to maintain a minimum level of like watchability in order, you know what I mean? Like you can't just go full Chicago White Sox where like not a single player on your roster is hitting at league average, right? Like you can't do that when you have this much money, coming in from people watching your games. You can't do a full rebuild like that. You need to feel the team that's fun to watch, even if you can't feel the team that's winning all the time. So I think Chapman and Adames, but I think Chapman and Adames are signings that you make in order to maintain, keep a bare minimum this is just bare minimum.
I hate that. I know. I get what
of
you're
watchability.
saying, but I hate it.
You can't
it.
You can't just have nobodies up and down the lineup. You can't do that.
No,
as a
I
big
get
name
that.
franchise.
No.
So when you sign these players to multi-year deals, it's like what they're selling is a story. They're not selling you wins.
Then why are they trying to go after Burns? Why are they talking about going after Tucker next year?
Well, I mean, if they do that, I'm just saying if they do that.
The only thing I worry about, like Willie,
good.
I don't know if Willie was promised Burns when he signed, because that might have been like his whole sales pitch. But I hope that he's still down to come play for us, because I think the Burns thing might have like upset him a little bit, just because I was his boy. But
right, he was advocating for him on freaking KMBR.
I know, man. I know.
What's up, Toby?
His agent, though, man, he's cutthroat.
I know.
And unfortunately, it's
but here's the thing: the player went to the team. It wasn't the team going to the player.
Well,
the issue right there, man. So what's going on?
I think the opt-outs were the one thing that scared the Giants, and I think the owner got involved on that one. I think he went over Buster and said, "No, dude, we're not doing any more opt-outs if we're going to commit to $35 million a year. We're just not going to do it." We don't want to get him in, commit for 2 years, and then he's playing good ball, and then he's gone. So and I get that part, but I would have been like, listen, do your opt-out, but here's the deal. If you make the All-Star team 2 years in a row, we will give you an extra $5 million a year on year number 3 and year number 4.
It's like
sweeten the deal a little bit.
Soto's deal was that the Mets can cancel out the opt-out by increasing his average, his yearly salary. I mean, I would have been all for that, right? It would just be a performance-based bonus.
Yeah.
I just think, like, you have to have a baseline team in order to have a watchable product, but also, like, if you just go full rebuild, then you have no chance of signing big free agents in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, we are in the stage of building our team where, like, you have to get the bare minimum so that at least you can sell something to incoming free agents. If you just let go of everything, then you can't pivot to try to have a winning roster. So signing someone like Chapman and Adames, it just gives your team consistency. And if next year you want to go for someone like Tucker or Vladdy or whoever, then at least you have something to say, hey, we have a solid core and we're missing a big star, and you can be the guy that takes us from 500 ball to serious World Series contenders. But if you just let him go and you just play young guys that have that are unproven and play badly, then you have no chance of selling that story.
Well,
it's cascading. It's like it builds on itself. It's like the Dodgers. Like, why do people keep signing with them? Because they want to play with good players, just like you said earlier.
Yeah, and the location's horseshit. I hate to say that to the Dodger fans, but it is. It's in the ghetto. Nobody wants to go to Chavez Ravine. I mean, what do? You get a Dodger dog, and that's all they sell.
The game is in a horrible place.
But at the end of the day, they want to play on a winning team. So I understand that. That's baseball players have always been like that. You go back to the Yankees, you got the Mickey Mantles of the world, Babe Ruths, whatever. But here's the deal. Oh man, I have a feeling, and this is my gut. I have a feeling, as long as these Giants start the year off winning, they can't do a slow start like they did last year. They have to hit the road. They have the first day till the 20th game. They got to win. They got to have a high winning percentage. If they can get some momentum on that first month or two of the season, I have a feeling that this team can catch fire and put some good months together. And I have a feeling they could shock us this year. And I don't know why. I just have a weird feeling, because I have a feeling that there's going to be pressure put on everybody from the top down that winning is all we stand for. We don't care about anything else. We are going to play solid, fundamental baseball. And if you're not, we're going to find someone else that can replace you. We're going to just do it and figure it out, train you guys. because I don't even think in the last 4 to 5 years, they say they wanted to win, but I don't really think that was really pushed down to the team that we wanted to win.
Pathetic.
Yeah, sad.
I mean,
That's sad.
if the young players get hot, then we can trade for pieces at the deadline to push us over the edge.
Yeah,
If the young players are cold, then off to next year. Try to make another few signings to improve your roster. Go from there. Or bring up Eldridge early, give him more big league at bats.
Cryptic Trader. Have you ever played baseball before, bro? I'm not high. If you know the game, bro, you'll understand baseball. It's ebbs and flows, and it's not always the best team on paper that can win. It's a team that's disciplined and fundamentally sound.
Yeah.
And player development is something we're stressing from the top down.
The Giants will rise again.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, last year I went to 7 games, and all 7 games we lost. I didn't even go to one game that we won.
Wow. I went to 6 games and we won 5 of them.
Right. I was pissed, right? But I'm like, you know what? I'm still a Giants fan. I'm still down. No matter what they do, I don't give a crap. If you're a Giants fan, you ride or die. That's your team you were born with. That's the team you're going to live with, and that's just how it's going to be. But at the end of the day, Posey's not going to take shit. He's going to push these guys and get them to play the game the right way. I'm telling you. So you have to trust Posey, even though it doesn't feel like you trust him right now. You have to trust the process.
Okay, here's the question. Is that Posey's job as president of baseball operations?
Yeah, it's his job.
In the weeds, right?
It's his job. It's his job to hire the right people. It's his job.
He has to delegate, right?
Well, it's his job to tell the leaders, like player development, director of player development, this is how we're going to teach hitting. This is how we're going to teach fielding. This is the lingo. This is what I want. I need this type of play, like from anything, the way we hit our cutoffs, where do our cutoffs stand on the field? When we're hitting our cutoffs going to home, where's my first baseman going to be? Where do I want him lined up? Where's my third baseman lined up? How are we going to sell a guy, taking a cut, cutting it off and going to second? Or how are we going to do a play where we pump fake it, go into second, go to third? All the little things like bunt coverages. There's 3 or 4 different bunt coverages we might incorporate, or there might be 5. How do we want our pitchers backing up these plays? Where do you want them? The list goes on and on and on. And from that point on, there's an expectation. And Posey knows to win championships, you got to play a certain way. End of story.
Fair.
He's got the blueprint. And not only does he have 1 championship, he's got 3.
No, but he's got to find those people
and he
that
knows
understand that type of baseball. Here's the question. Is there people out there that still advocates that type of baseball? Or is it all about the 3 true outcomes out there now? A lot's changed, right? Since he won the last World Series.
Of course a lot's changed. Yeah. But at the end of the day, baseball's baseball. I was thinking about this the other day. Everyone tries to do these little scientific names to act like the game's changed. I'll give you an example. Analytics.
Fair.
What the hell's analytics? At the end of the day, it's statistics.
I get it.
Okay. Statistics has been around forever. But in the last 5 years or 10 years, the word of the day is analytics. Oh my God. We do analytics. No, dude, we've been doing statistics for years.
Right.
Fair. Okay. Exit velo. What does that mean in baseball? Bat speed. Does he have plus bat speed? Does he have 60 bat speed, 70 bat speed, 80 bat speed, 90 mile per hour bat speed, 95 mile per hour bat speed, 100 mile per hour bat speed? Okay. Exit velocity. The ball's going to come off your bat quicker, the quicker bat speed you have. It's the same stuff we've been teaching for years. Baseball's still baseball, but they come up with these new scientific names to make it sound like the game's changed.
Fair.
That's fair. All I'm saying. Baseball's always going to be baseball.
All right, guys, you carry. I'm going to warm up my coffee. I'll be right back. Carry it. Okay. Appreciate it.
Keep it coming, guys.
So, Paul, what do you think the Giants should do the next couple of years? Because I know you said we want to completely try to build a little bit and grow, but we don't have. We keep losing draft picks. We keep having issues on development. I feel like that's going to take a long time until Posey gets his feet wet. I don't know if fans really. I mean, look at it. We're on this channel because we all love the Giants. There's a reason for it, but we have a reason to also say hey, we expect more. And the issue is, what do you do? I mean, people do want excitement, and yes, winning will bring excitement, but also they want players that have excitement to it as well. I mean, is Eldris really the guy that we should be looking for? I mean, should we bring in someone like a Tucker and still develop? I feel like we need to do both. You need to bring in higher talent and better talent, still develop, but I think that develop part is going to take longer than the 3 or 4 years you're saying. I think it's going to take a lot longer than that.
So here's the problem that we're all facing, and this is the frustration part. Tucker is not going to want to come play for a losing team. He has to know that this team's on the up and up, especially if he signs a long-term deal, right? Now, he'll sign if he goes, wow, they're, trending in the right direction. They made the playoffs. They're getting better in their drafts. They got all these upcoming superstars. That's a team I want to play for. Oh, plus, by the way, Buster Posey's leading the helm. Let's go. So the problem we're having is free agents don't even want to play for a losing team. So let's go back. Let's just get the free agents away from us for a second. Okay. You have to work with what you got. That's step number one. Like he said, the young arms have to take a big step this year. They're going to push them to take a bigger workload. It's like getting a promotion at a job. You're no longer the analyst. You are now the supervisor. We're going to give you more responsibilities. We're going to train you. We're going to teach you. We're going to be there every step of the way so you are successful. And we're going to push you even when you don't want to be pushed. Because why? This is the culture. You play for the Giants, you are going to be a winner. Period. End of story. And if you don't want to get on with this, we'll find somebody else to replace you that wants to do exactly how we want them to do things. In the meantime, you better start drafting the right kids. Every single year for the next 5 to 10 years, you better start hitting on the drafts. Okay? Because that's going to pay dividends in the end. And then hopefully those kids are going to get with the training and they're going to go through the system quicker. And then eventually that's going to start growing our big league team. Now, once we get 1 to 2 years of some solid coaching under our belt, I'm talking work with what you got now. Make them the best product they can be. Cut down on errors. Have good at bats. Move guys over. Get guys in. Have productive at bats. Do all the little things right. Manufacture runs. Okay? We don't need to be the most talented roster, but we need to be the smartest team on the baseball field. And if we can squeak out some wins and we can squeak in the playoffs, that's a big milestone. Because once we do that, and we can do that the following year or even 1 year, now the free agents are going to catch on. These guys are winning. This is the team I want to come play for. But we have to start with what you got. You got to develop what's in-house, and you got to push them to greatness. And I'm going to keep preaching this. Player development is all we got. Oakland A's, I think, are a really good team. They draft well. They develop well. They push them hard. And they're always a tough team to beat. That's the kind of team the Giants need to be. A gritty, tough-nosed, hard-nosed team. For whatever reason, they go through their slumps when they go through their slumps. But I think the A's are heading in the right direction. But I think, we just have to see the big picture. Farhan is Farhan and this and that. Yeah, we got screwed for many years. But we have to just think of it as everyone take a deep breath. Posey's a baseball guy. He's going to get on player development. He's going to get on the coaches. He's going to be out there in the big league clubhouse every day. He's going to be talking to those guys. He's bringing in Bumgarner to talk to those guys every day. He's bringing in other guys, Pence, to talk to those players every day. He's bringing in guys that are proven winners to set the culture, in that clubhouse. And there will be accountability, and there's going to be a lot of teaching going on and preparing going on. I don't think you're going to see the same product that you've been seeing for the last couple of years. I think you're going to see smarter ball players and just a better brand of baseball, meaning hopefully not so many errors and not so many mental mistakes on the field. Did I answer your question, Vince?
Yeah, you answered. I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like that process is going to be a lot longer. And I do think there needs to be some appeal of free agency. I'm not saying
I
go
agree.
sign all the free agents, but if you're resetting, supposedly being overtaxed from last year, you're resetting, hoping to spend more next year, but because you can't capture anybody because you have no good talent or you don't have as great of a talent as some of these players would want. I mean, you're setting up for people not wanting to come to the game. And look, I have friends who were season ticket owners that are canceling it because they're not excited at all about what's going on with this game in the last 2 years. And I think I know Marcus had a good point where you want to have just enough for people to come. I used to go to Giants games all the time. I wasn't a season ticket person, but since the Farhan thing, there hasn't been a reason for me wanting to go. Like, I haven't been excited. I mean, I watch it on TV and I love it. I'll watch 162 games on TV, but I'm from San Jose. Nothing makes me want to go over there for a player yet. It just hasn't been. Yeah. And that's my frustration as a fan watching.
No, I get it.
Let's take it this direction, guys, real quick. 2025. Are the Giants done?
No.
Let me go around the horn. Marcus, are the Giants done? Are they? Is this the team
free agency?
that is going? All offseason, whether it's trade, free agencies, are the Giants done?
I think they're no longer seeking out new players. Yeah.
Okay, fair. Vince,
I think they're going to find a complementary piece. What I mean by that is sign somebody that's a bench player or something for 10 to 12 million, and that's about it. Nothing crazy, just enough to kind of, complement what they have, but nothing crazy.
Paul,
I think they're, like you guys said, they're going to find somebody low-hanging fruit, but I think like with Wade, he's not like your big trading piece, but there's value there. And I was thinking potentially you can get maybe a left-handed bullpen arm that has a decent ERA, and it's a good trade partner, and you can give him away for a good deal. And we might need an extra left-handed bullpen arm, something like that to strengthen us a little bit. Okay. So I think there's going to be some creativity.
That's fair. Okay.
What about you, Eric?
No, I think they're done. I think this is the team that we have.
You think so?
I think the rotation is going to be Webb, Ray, Verlander, Hicks, and Harrison. The only difference is I think there's the starting right fielder. I think is going to be Matos. It should be Matos. But other than that,
he does well in spring training.
I think they're going to platoon first base with Wade and Flores. I don't think they're going anywhere. If
one of them plays way better than the other in spring, I hope one of them comes out and has a big year.
Yeah.
Wilmer had a really down year due to injury, so maybe he returns to form, or maybe Wade has excellent swing decisions, and can put contact on the ball, and hopefully maybe he can get some power behind the bat, or there's a lot of guys who are like they have something there, and just a little extra can make them real big league starters instead of people that we are trying to platoon.
I don't think. And I'm telling you, they're only 21 or 20 million dollars from the CBT. Again, I just don't see them. I don't see them going any further than that. They've already said it. I mean, Baggerly might have been right on the money. He said they wanted to spend around the same amount that they wanted to be under what they spent last year, which was 208. And where are they now? I think they're at 199.
Okay, but let's stop there. Let's challenge everyone. What was the payroll for the Padres last year?
Here, I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, let's compare all the playoff teams' payroll last year, and that'll give us an idea of how much money we could spend. Because I can guarantee you the Padres are around 160, 170, maybe 150, and they were a damn good team.
The Padres spent 227.
No, they spent a lot more. Padres for the CBT, they're at 233 last year.
Last year, what's the 172?
That's active payroll.
That's the active payroll. This is what's counted against them for the CBT.
Okay.
This is the number you got to go with as far as their CBT is concerned.
Okay, so they went over
for next year.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that the Diamondbacks went over too?
Nope. Diamondbacks were at 225. I think what was the it was 237 or something last year, right? Isn't that what the CBT was?
I think it was
Something like that?
237, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Giants went over.
We went over.
I don't know if this is up to date. Is this up?
This is last year.
This is last year.
I'm looking at Spot Track, and it has
year
a little slightly different numbers for last year.
They're sitting at
Oh, we're at
219.
219. Okay.
But at 180 as far as the payroll. It's weird how they do that stuff.
It's weird, dude. I get it. That's why I was throwing off a little bit.
Yeah, it's because we were paying for some contracts that are no longer.
Well,
that's how it goes. So they're rolling over contracts.
Well, here you got the projected 40-man competitive balance. And then you got the projected 40-man year-end labor relations.
Okay, look at the Tigers payroll last year. That might be a good one.
Last year?
Yeah.
I mean, the Tigers did not spend anything. They spent.
Okay, there you go. That shows us. Even look at Cleveland and look at KC. That shows us it doesn't matter how much money we spend, right, fellas?
Well, it kind of because they're playing in weaker divisions.
I understand, but let's just get real. Does that tell us you don't have to spend what the Dodgers are spending?
I mean, if you want to look, nobody has to spend what the Dodgers are spending. That's not what I'm.
Detroit, if
saying.
you guys remember, towards the end of the year, they kicked our butt when they came here.
Yeah, they got hot right at the end of the season.
Right, but I'm just saying, take that formula. They were a gritty team that was probably fundamentally sound. And that could be the Giants right there. That could be the formula, is all I'm trying to say. That's all. I'm not saying that we're the best team on paper, but I'm just saying it can happen. This is not Moneyball. This is baseball, right? We got to think, no matter what, you still got to play the game.
Val loves just like listening to what I say and then like obscure, like just he just loves chirping, man. Like that's not what I said. Was that actually I'm not even gonna respond. But no, I mean I think that we're just in a really strong division. We're playing a lot of games in this strong division, and so I think we should be spending more money because
the competition.
we have the money, the revenue to spend, and B, it's not just about winning and like making do with what you've got. I think at the end of the day, baseball is a form of entertainment.
I agree. So let me ask you this. Let's say you go over the tax. Let's just throw a scenario. We all go over the tax. And let's say we don't win and we don't go to the playoffs. Are you going to be pissed?
I mean, not necessarily. If you're trying to get the players, you're going for it, right? At least you're trying to go for it.
Okay. So here's
I'm not a very result-oriented person.
So let me ask you this. We don't get the team you want, and they're kicking everyone's butt, and we're in first place. We win our division. We're going to playoffs. Are you going to be happy?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So either way, right, we gotta pick a lane.
And that's the thing. And that's what's a little bit confusing with what they're doing as far as picking the lane, right?
Right. I get that. And you got to remember, we haven't won consecutively, so we don't have a winning culture. So it's really hard. Like, no offense, Raider fans. I love you guys. But like when you go from losing every year, and then you're like, we're going to win this year. Well, it sounds easy, but it's really hard to change a losing culture to a winning culture. I get that too. But I always bring up Posey only because you need guys that are bona fide winners from the top. The team will catch on the manager's personality. They will. That's going to permeate through the whole entire organization. You need winners. And the only one I could think of is Posey and his teammates that are winners. And he's going to bring those teammates into that clubhouse and tell them, this is what a championship mindset looks like. This is how you prepare for a big league game. This is how you become a pro. Okay. This is not gray area. This is black and white. If you want to be a winner, this is how you're supposed to act and think and eat every single day. That's all.
Shouldn't ownership be doing the same thing, right?
Oh, don't get me started with that. That's a whole nother story.
I mean, you
Ownership.
want winners.
I want
if
winners.
you want winners, you gotta properly reward and compensate winners.
I agree.
I mean, look, we can do whatever we want in terms of building the right culture and having, a cohesive team with good chemistry, whatever. At the end of the day, if you want to field a winning, consistent on-field product, you're gonna have to pay for it,
okay,
one way or another.
I agree. So
there
the only
are
thing
teams out there that do it for cheaper, but they pay for it in other ways with lots of high draft picks because they tanked. But didn't they change the system for how you get draft picks anyways? To it's like a lottery system.
Yeah,
so,
the
so you
first
can't
round,
even
yeah.
right,
You can't
like
even
yeah.
tank.
So you can't even tank. So it doesn't even make tons of sense to try to do a rebuild and tank if you can't tank to get higher draft picks.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Let's say we want to do a big trade, like a blockbuster trade, and we want to get the player that we all want. Okay. You and I know we're going to have to give up the big players in the farm system, right? Eldridge is the number one guy that goes.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be another prospect that we don't want to let go. But let's say we get rid of two of our best players in the minor leagues that are potential prospects for the big leagues. And we might even have to give away a big league player as well, like a Wade, and throw that in to sizzle the deal. The problem we're having is that we don't have enough good player inventory in the farm system to make those blockbuster trades.
Sure.
So I go back to you have to get the drafts right, or else we can't do potential blockbuster trades.
Yeah, but I mean, these should all be things that are happening in parallel.
Correct.
This is not like we can only do one or the other.
Correct.
The drafting should be improved. The drafting and the scouting should be improved regardless of what we do with our big league roster. They are complete. I mean, in some sense, they are completely separate objectives.
Correct.
That a team, should have both independently. But what I'm saying, independent of drafting and player development, which does need to improve, don't get me wrong, is that the ownership still should be spending according to how much money they're making. They should not be spending such a small percentage of their revenue on the roster. Now, should they also, parallel to that, improve scouting, drafting, player development, etc.? 100%. 1,000%.
If you could pull up the big league roster for the Giants and show the chat who's actually on this 40-man roster, and then we can just figure out who would be a potential trade, or maybe next year, who are we losing off the payroll? And then that might open up some avenues for us, right?
Let's check it out.
Because that might get us kind of closer to what we're talking about.
Let's take a look.
And the chat, we could all just throw it out there. Like when we start looking at these players, which ones would you want to leave and trade and whatnot? Okay, Tristan Beck. Is he even tradable?
I don't know if he's worth anything.
Okay, he's still developing.
So he had injury last year. He had
Okay.
He's also 28, 29. It's not like he's the young guys, Birdsong, Black.
Okay, let's go to Birdsong. Is Birdsong tradable?
Totally.
He is, but I don't think the Giants want to.
Okay, but we need to put him on the trading block if we go through a blockbuster, right?
Sure.
Okay. Spencer Bivens.
No.
Is he tradable?
He's not really a trade guy. Like he's like a solid bullpen piece that we have.
Okay.
But he's not really someone we trade.
Okay. How about Mason Black?
Totally tradable. Sure.
Okay. How about Camilo?
Yes.
Tradable. Sure.
Okay. How about Kyle?
Yes.
They're not going to trade him, but like you can trade him, whatever.
Okay. How about Hicks?
His contract's is worth a negative amount of money.
So you think nobody would pick him up?
No,
Maybe.
like someone would sign him
as a bullpen.
In terms of like a trade,
starter.
in terms of a trade, it's not really like
So you
not
think he
gonna
has to have
get
a big
anything
year
for
for him to be tradable, right? Like have some value.
Yes,
I would agree.
Yeah.
Okay. So he needs that. He's kind of like 50-50. He's got to have
If you want to trade him as a bullpen arm, yeah, he's got value.
More
As
than
a
like
starter, no.
more that like he's worth more to us by keeping him than we would get from him in a trade.
Okay. How about Jelly?
No.
I don't really think that he's a trade target, but he's kind of nice to have. Like,
so you kind of like him.
Yeah, I kind of like him, but like he has not really proven anything. It's
He's a long guy in the bullpen. That's
okay.
No.
How about Trevor
no.
McDonald?
Don't even know enough about him.
Who that is.
I like him, but he needs to prove a little bit more. He's been interesting.
How many
is he a bullpen guy?
Yeah.
Well, I think they want him to be a starter. I think wasn't it, but I think they may have him as a bullpen right now.
Trevor McDonald pitched 3 innings last year.
How about Eric Miller? Is he tradable?
No, keep him.
I think he's a left-handed like.
Wow,
he's going to be
guy. He's
going to be good.
Wow. Okay.
Great strikeout. I mean, I don't know if he's like worth a lot. I just don't think.
I don't want to give him up.
I don't want to give him up for nothing.
Okay.
Like he's not going to be worth a lot in a trade, and I think he has a lot of upside.
How about Ragsdale?
Don't know enough.
Don't know anything. Yeah.
They brought him on the 40-man to protect him from the Rule 5.
Okay, this is a good one. How about Robbie Ray?
His contract's not
contract. No,
people aren't going to want his contract.
You don't think so?
They're not going to give us anything. They'll give us cash for him maybe, but like there's no player we're going to get.
What if the Yankees are on a run and they're like, we need a left-handed pitcher? We don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if he's healthy. If he stays healthy until the trade deadline.
Okay,
then maybe someone will want to trade for him.
Okay, he's a vet, right? He's got Cy Young.
As of today, I mean, we can't predict what's going to happen between now and the deadline. As of today, his contract is worth negative value.
Okay, that's fair. How about Randy Rodriguez?
I like that kid, but yeah, he's tradable.
He's tradable, but again, I don't think he's worth a lot. I mean, the relief pitchers are just not worth very much unless they're premier closers. I mean, there's still 2 or 3 of the top closers in baseball are still on the free agent market, completely unsigned.
Okay. How about Taylor Rogers?
Neither of the Rogers.
Neither of the Rogers are.
Yeah,
have no value.
You guys don't like them, or you don't?
No,
I don't think they have value.
I think they're both totally adequate, but I think like talking about trying to trade our bullpen arms that aren't Camilo Doval is like totally
that makes sense.
Okay, so let me ask you this: is his contract expiring after this year?
Yes,
and that's $11 million off the books.
So that's $11 million off the books, right? So that's
and Tyler is off the books next year as well.
And how much is he worth?
He's worth
14.
He's making like
damn.
It's 14.
Wait, so Taylor's making like 11 to 14 or something like that, and then Tyler.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's the other way around. Yeah,
Tyler's making like $4 million or something.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay, so that's gonna be interesting. You think we're gonna get rid of Taylor next year and keep Tyler?
Well, we might re-sign him to a much smaller contract.
Do you think he'll hit the open market and get more money?
I don't know. I mean, he might want to stay with his twin brother. Like, I don't know. There's lots of weird factors here, but he's not going to command a lot of money.
Okay, so those guys could potentially give us more money next year, right?
Just by being off the books, sure.
Right, but we're going to have to replace them because they are a big part of the bullpen.
Well, yeah, they have good numbers. They're just not worth the amount of money we're paying them.
So
Tyler is worth what we're paying him. He's
the only way it makes sense logically is if we have a prospect that's just as good as both of them, like 2 of them to replace them. And then now we're bringing them up for pennies on the dollar versus going out and getting a free agent to replace them, right?
Yeah, I mean Tyler Rogers has just got his last year of arbitration, right?
So Weisenhunt can probably replace Taylor.
Well, Weisenhunt's supposed to be a starting pitcher, so I don't think.
Okay, but let's say he's number 6 on the depth chart and he becomes a bullpen guy. You think he'd be the next Taylor Rogers to kind of work his way into the?
No, I think they're just going to have him be a starting pitcher.
Okay.
I mean, relief pitchers are kind of dime a dozen. Like you just take some hard throwing guy you took a flyer on, stick him in the bullpen because he didn't have the endurance for being a starting pitcher, and
But you got to have command.
You can have. Well, I mean, Duvall doesn't really have command. You just need stuff. If you have stuff and velocity,
Yeah.
You could get away with that as a
You
bullpen.
can get away with that in the bullpen.
Okay. It's interesting how you guys look at it. Okay. Let's go to Landon Root.
Tradable starting pitcher, real young starting pitcher, but he's not worth a lot right now. I mean, he just had a sort of bad outing in last year, so
Okay. He's
like
got
him a lot.
potential.
Sure, yeah.
Carson Seymour. I don't even know who this guy is.
And probably another Rule 5 protection.
Okay, guys, we're kind of spending a little bit too much time.
Yeah. Like we should talk about the players that are like actually worth something.
So Verlander, we know about him.
Nope. Ryan Walker, he's your closer. You're not getting rid of him.
So you guys like him as a closer?
Yeah.
Until
Logan Webb is not being traded.
Yeah, Logan Webb's never getting traded.
Now the chat was asking, why don't we trade Logan Webb? Can we explain to them why we wouldn't trade Logan Webb?
He just provides unspeakable amounts of value to our franchise beyond his production.
Okay.
Like that, and he's just an excellent starting pitcher. Like he provides so many innings, and you just need that on your team. You just can't trade people like that.
He's affordable, right?
And yeah, his contract's extremely cheap.
It's team friendly.
He gave us such a cheap contract because he's staying. Like
the only problem I have with Webb, and this is something to think about, his contract ends in what, 2 years or 3 years?
3, I think.
Okay, so do you think his contract's going to be very expensive on his next deal?
I don't know.
Who knows, man?
So that's the deal.
That's tough to say, right?
He took such a big deal for the first time.
Okay.
I don't know if he'll do it again, but I sort of suspect that they will just pay him out of respect, like just out of respect for the fact that he took less money the first time.
Okay, so he might get like Corbin Burns money.
I hope not.
I mean, I don't think so, but who knows?
So that's where we got to start thinking about before that expires. We might want to get rid of him.
No, you don't. But the thing is, you shouldn't treat your homegrown guys that take sweetheart deals.
Okay, but I'll play devil's advocate. Like what if you can get 2 power bats for Logan Webb? Would you do that deal?
But you know what? I don't think the Giants are doing that for the simple fact you got Adames and you got Chapman, and it just. I'm just going by what the team is doing and what they're projecting. I just don't see it.
Like, what message does that send to the homegrown guys that are considering signing sweetheart deals to play with you if you're just going to trade them away?
Right.
Like, that's not why you sign. That's not why you give teams a discount to get traded.
But the problem is the teams want the Logan Webbs of the world.
Yes, I get it.
That's the problem. And so we're holding on to Logan Webb.
If you didn't sign Chapman or extend Chapman, you didn't sign Willie Adames, well, then maybe, hey, you trade Webb because obviously you're really not going for it. You're just trying to rebuild.
Yeah. So again, that's where it gets hard, right? Because we got,
and that's the confusing part with this, with what Posey is doing. You get Adames, you extend Chapman, but then you go get Verlander. It just doesn't add up, man. It just seems to me they're just trying to salvage the season rather than trying to win.
Cryptic Trader, you're missing the entire point. It's that Logan Webb took less money to play with us.
I get it.
And like the reason why he did that was because he wants to be part of the story, part of the franchise, not because he's trying to get the most amount of money for his talents. So you can't just trade people like that.
I don't think they will trade him, but we talk about we want superstars. I'm just saying that might be a big piece to get a superstar. Might.
But the problem is it makes your rotation weak. So what do you see what I'm saying? You're spinning your wheels.
But to counter that, Eric, you draft well and you've got big arms that can take over Webb's job at any moment as you develop the guys in the farm system.
Now, are the Giants at that point?
No, they're like I said, man, they got to have 3 to 4 good years.
Right. Exactly.
So I'm just saying, like, you got to build up that farm system to where, no offense, Webb, we love you, buddy. You're a great Giant, but we got you in your prime years and we're going to have someone to replace you and take over. It's sad to say that, but that's how you got to build a winning team, in my opinion. But okay, now we're going to the position players.
Well, there's Keaton Wynn, who's another tradable
Keaton Wynn.
young arm, but
Yeah.
You guys wouldn't trade him, or you would trade him?
I don't care about him.
You don't care about him.
I don't think he's going to be worth
Not
anything.
worth talking about.
Bailey, you're not trading Bailey. You need a catcher.
No.
You can't trade Bailey.
Sam Huff, you just picked up. He ain't going. And Tom Murphy.
You just got him, and you paying him nothing. Like,
What do you guys do with Tom Murphy?
I mean,
DFA. DFA.
I don't know, try to pawn him back to Seattle or something. I don't know.
Okay, I agree.
Really, Adamas going
You're not
nowhere.
trading
No trade clause on him.
Yep.
And
No trades on both of them.
Okay, that's
Tyler,
good.
he's a little bit older.
I mean,
Might have a little
Tyler
bit of value.
Fitzgerald seems kind of like the player that you would want, like a second baseman with power upside.
Okay,
So I don't really see a sense.
But
in
Tyler
trading
has
him.
a little bit of value. Wilmer Flores has no value. Luciano
value.
has no value.
Luciano's like
No value.
minimal. Yeah, like
Schmidt, a little bit of
if
value,
team's looking
just
for
below
a third
Fitzgerald.
baseman, like you could see.
do you think Casey Schmidt's a hell of a backup?
Yeah, hell of a back.
Yeah, I just think that
Okay.
we have him and Brett
Hell of a
Wisely.
I would agree with you. I think if you can get that bat dialed in, that kid is an everyday whatever backup and potentially an everyday second baseman, shortstop. Not right now,
I
but
mean,
second base.
he's a third baseman by trade, right?
Yeah.
So-
But I like that kid. I think you need him on that roster because guys are going to get hurt. Guys need a day off. He can fill in that gap.
I mean, that's what Brett Wisely does, though, right? Like that's what we used him for the most.
Yeah, that's
I think Schmidt has everyday player potential,
yes.
and I think that we should trade him to a team that will play him every day. Both
So
for
part of
him
a
and
package. He
for
could be
us.
part of a package. David
Well,
VR, no value. Lamont
Yeah,
Wade Jr. has some value.
Lamont Wade Jr. has trade value, and I would not mind trading him.
Brett
But
Wisely,
Go ahead.
no value.
The problem with Casey and VR, like, what kind of big leaguer are they? That like, are they going to just start on a big league roster right away and take over?
No.
That's the problem. They need
Yeah,
to
they're
prove
not. They're
themselves
no-
at the
there's
big league
no-
level.
You think hey, Cryptic Sir, you think Luciano has value? He doesn't even have a position.
Right.
Yeah,
He doesn't even have a position. And his bat may play, may not play. We know
There's-
he's got back problem.
I haven't seen a lot of
Luciano.
power. I don't know where the power's coming from.
It
with this
disappeared.
It
He had
disappeared.
nothing last year.
I
report.
don't
I
know
think
what
he's
happened
got
to
the
him.
gap power. I don't know if he's got
But
like
he is
pop.
very young. He's very, very young. He's 22, maybe 23.
Same
Yeah.
age as Matos.
Yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't.
Actually, I think he's a little bit older.
I wouldn't say that he's done or anything like that. You know, he's
He's got
too young.
potential power, but we haven't seen it yet.
It's too
right?
young to tell. I just think that like I don't know if other teams are willing to.
That's the issue. Is this
He's
does,
not perfect.
does he move the needle for a team? So
No,
to speak.
Not right now.
no.
Not right now.
He's just a prospect for all we know.
Wisely. No.
I don't know.
I
if
love
he's
the
gonna
kid,
do
but he's
well.
just a backup.
Yep. Encarnacion, don't even know enough, honestly.
Okay,
Yeah,
this
but-
is funny. This is a funny one. I like this guy.
Yeah, no,
Encarnacion?
I hope his power translates
Yeah,
to the majors.
he just needs to be a little more consistent, but it's hard when you don't play all the time. But he's got some tools, man. That kid's a player. You know what? I would like to see him play first base.
Encarnacion.
Yeah, he's big. He doesn't move the greatest. He's decent, but he's got that first baseman body. That would be a good conversion right there. I don't know why he's still in the outfield, but that's another story. But he's got some pop.
Jung Hoo Lee.
Is that guy tradable? Is Jung Ho Lee tradable?
I don't know if we're allowed to trade him, but also like
Can
I wouldn't trade him without giving a full season. Like I don't know, it just and we
You
have
need to see him.
I just want to see him. Like we
Okay.
paid
He
a
only
lot of
really
money
played
for him.
2 months, and that's it.
Yeah, like we paid a
Or
lot
a
of
month and
money
a
for him.
Yeah.
It doesn't. There's a lot of merchandise
Right.
with his name on it. You know, it's like just give him a year and then maybe we'll talk.
Okay. Luis.
If he doesn't start, then you need to trade him.
Yes.
Yeah,
Correct.
he's that guy has real big league potential and should be on a team that is willing to give him some starts.
But what if the team's like he has no big league experience? He does, but he doesn't. I don't know what he is.
He
Yeah,
doesn't
I
have to
don't even
start
know.
every day. I'm just saying that he should
Okay.
play 60 games or
At
whatever.
23, he got a decent shot, and he I thought he handled himself nicely. He had a 250 average.
Mhm.
Wasn't fantastic, but it wasn't bad either.
So, like from a scouting perspective, like if that kid's polished, let's say he's a polished product and he's in his prime and he's got his approach dialed in, his strength is dialed in, he's probably going to top out at 20 to 25 home runs a year. And hopefully he's hitting in the high twos. Is that an effective, efficient right fielder or even left fielder? Would you guys be willing to make that your key player in left field, or would you want something?
Here's the problem: the Giants need a right fielder after next year because Yaz is gone next year.
Would you move over Ramos to right field?
No, Ramos is. I mean, Ramos is our left fielder because he was one of the worst defenders. Period.
Who's faster, Matos or Ramos?
I'm pretty sure Matos is a better defender and all that entails in terms of like playing defense, including running down fire.
So at Oracle, you want to put your faster guy in right field versus the other guy in left, right? Because you got to cover the triples alley.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to get to the line.
Also just having good sense on like how to play off the wall.
Right. So you think Matos would be better, or you think Ramos would be better in right?
I think Matos would be better for.
He's more athletic, more quicker.
Yeah, he's just
better jump.
Yeah,
better
exactly.
angles, better routes. Okay. So you're saying that guy is the future right fielder for the next 5 to 8 years?
Could be. I mean, it could be James Tibbs III.
Really?
We don't. I mean,
our first rounder.
Yeah, our first rounder from last year. There's a huge wall out in Florida State in right field that he's used to playing at.
Do you think that power is going to play at Oracle? Because that was a crackerjack box.
I mean, what I don't know, but like scouting reports are saying that he does have a lot of polish as a hitter.
Okay.
So wasn't Tibbs' defense not that great?
Yep, below average.
Really bad. So you wouldn't want him in right.
I wouldn't say. I don't think he was really bad.
Weird too.
So he's probably like a left fielder. He's not really a right fielder.
But I think they're training him as a right fielder. I think like the fact that his hitting is very developed. They can spend more time with him working on defense.
So would you rather have, like me personally, I'd rather have a guy like Grant McCray in right field. Only because he's more athletic.
His defense is fantastic.
Yeah, if Grant McCray didn't have to
hit.
Right.
But I mean, it could come around to not talk.
Yeah, he could.
But okay, so for me, I feel more comfortable having a guy like that in right with that kind of athleticism. Now,
sure.
Let's say our first pick, what's his name?
Tibbs.
Sorry, I was going to say Bibbs for some reason. Let's say he's got a better bat and he's got pop in his bat. Are you willing to give up athleticism for the pop in his bat?
Huh.
I mean, it's like,
so
what does it add up to?
So when you play the Dodgers can hit, right? So would you go with Tibbs in right against the Dodgers, or would you go McCray in right versus the Dodgers?
I mean, it's just, to me, it's not really about. It's like the sum of the two. It's like if Tibbs is so much better of a hitter that we should play him in right because the value he provides makes up for how much worse he is at defense.
Right.
Like that's what I want. Like Soto is not a good defender, but I'm gonna plop him in right field because he's one of the best hitters of the past decade or whatever.
Right.
Like,
so
it doesn't matter.
As a scout, you see how hard this is? I've got to make these kind of decisions when I'm choosing my player. What's going to play in the big leagues and what am I buying here? Am I buying a guy with some pop, with some athleticism, or am I getting a freaky athlete with no pop, or am I getting a guy with pop with some decent athleticism? What's going to play here and what position is he going to be? Is he a left fielder or a right fielder? Because Oracle's a game changer. Like Pence covered right field. He was an athletic guy. Arm was average, but he had pop in his bat. Right? Who played center field on that team with Pence?
Angel Pagan, right?
Angel Pagan, right? He had a below average arm, but he can run.
He can run.
He can run. Who was in left field?
Ha! There you go.
Person was different every year.
Yeah. Who was it?
Coach.
Travis Ishikawa, Milky Cabrera,
Okay.
A different
Who
opening
else?
day left fielder for the past how many years?
20 some years, I think, right?
Gosh,
Yeah.
who else was out there?
I think
Our
this
hitting
year's
coach.
going to change again, right?
Burrell.
Yeah, Pat
Burrow,
Burrow.
yeah.
Pat Burrow was out there for a
So
minute.
you don't
Cody
really need a
Ross.
freaky athlete.
Blanco. That's right. I forgot about Blanco.
Right. So all I'm saying is whoever plays right field, like Yaz, that dude can cover some ground.
Yes.
But his bat is a little shaky. And he's got some pop in his bat.
He's streaky, yeah.
But why do they keep him on the field? Because of why?
Because of his defense.
Okay. So now when you replace a guy like that, who are you going to put in the lineup? You think Matos is the guy that can do a little bit better than Yaz? And he might have a more pop in his bat?
Yes.
I mean, hopefully.
That's
Okay.
the hope.
You know, it's like you can't. We don't have.
You're going to build your franchise around Matos, hopefully, right?
Well,
Yeah,
you know,
you're not
sure.
talking about. I mean, maybe this year, but I don't know if the future.
I don't know. I don't know about building the it's like players get better.
What about Ramos? Are you going to build your future around him or are you going to trade him?
I would prefer to keep him. Yeah.
Why do you want to keep him?
Young, and he shows that he's got it, man. Defense may be a little bit but his bat.
You like his power? You like his bat?
I just like the way his approach.
Okay, so you see a future. He's a future Giant, ride or die. He's going to be our guy. You think that's our guy?
That's where I'm staying with.
Yeah,
Ramos.
I would like to stick with him as long as he keeps showing that he has something. You know, it's like he doesn't have to have great outcomes all the time, but if I like his approach and I like, you know, his if I like his game, then I'm willing to stick with him through rough patches.
Right. So it goes back to scouting. If I could have been a Giant scout the year Judge was coming up, and we could have drafted Judge, and we could have put Judge in right field, that's a Hall of Fame right fielder. He's got the athleticism. He's got 80 plus power. His arm is above average. He's a above average runner, mental toughness, and he's a mental makeup, which is he's got the toughness of the mental side. So that's a few and far between, but that's an ideal pick, right? That's a first round grade. I'll pay the guy whatever because look at the potential. He's going to hit me 40 to 50 home runs a year, hopefully at Oracle. He showed he can hit power at Oracle when he came out here and played.
Yeah.
So maybe he does hit 50 home runs at Oracle, but that's the guy that I would put my name on if I was going to go high on a guy and say, this is our franchise, let's build around him, even though he was a project out of college and I knew he had some things he had to work on. That's the kind of guy I want. They're not always going to be like that. So these other guys, they're good ball players, but they're productive minor leaguers and potentially they're productive big league players, but they're not free. There's nothing that jumps out on the table with the tool that really goes, wow, that's my guy that I want to put my name on. Like I like Matos. He's solid, but he's not, Aaron Judge or even like anything that grabs my attention. I like Grant McCrae's athleticism, but if I can get that guy to hit in the high twos, that guy's a ball player. I'll take him.
The only guy that is kind of what you're talking about is probably Bryce Eldridge, man. That's about it as far as
power.
As power and maybe his batting average as well, maybe.
Now he's not a right fielder though, right? We all agree.
No, he's to be a first baseman, of course.
Okay,
I mean,
but
any skill, these guys are athletes. These skills are learnable.
Okay,
but he hasn't shown that that's something that he's capable of doing.
Yeah.
So I'm not a never say never kind of guy.
Right.
But, as of today, that's
well.
Just
Let's talk about this. Do you see the Giants trading any of these guys that we've talked about that may be tradable? I don't see the Giants doing it.
The thing about trades,
teams got to want the trade partner.
Yes.
It's like you have to have a specific hole that you're trying to fill, and also that you need to have an excess of something.
Like Ramos is tradable. Teams would want Ramos on their team.
But we don't really have an excess of anything. Like who are we like you trade because you have something that you can't utilize, right? And you get something that you can utilize.
Dodgers have a farm system. They can give up a lot because they got so many people.
Right.
Backfield.
They have so much depth. We don't have tons depth.
And Friedman is running the farm system. Trust me, he's got his fingers on everything. So I'm just saying, like, I feel your pain and it sucks. But we have to get real with what we got, and we just got to make these guys the best version of themselves. You know, if I can get Luis Matos to get me high twos, hit more doubles, be like a really good situational hitter.
Aren't you trading youth to get youth, though? Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't see the play.
You see what I'm saying? That's where the Giants are right now because there's no one. Let's talk about the 26 man. Okay, let's talk about the 26 man real quick.
Okay.
Bailey, they're not trading. Chapman and Willie Adames, no trade
Can't
clause.
trade. Yeah.
Right? Fitzgerald isn't going to fetch you much. First base right now currently is platoon. Sure, you could probably trade. You could trade Wade, right? Wilmer Flores, you ain't trading. You could have Encarnacion be at first base.
We could only be so lucky to trade.
Left field, Ramos, they're not trading Ramos because, again, he's young and he's going to be part of the future. Lee, they're not trading, well, because they just signed him last year. I just don't see that happening. Right field, you got Yaz. Yeah, you could trade Yaz because you got Matos.
But to your I'm going to throw a curveball at you. Yaz would be perfect. The problem is he's 35.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody wants a 35.
Nobody wants him. Exactly.
Unless they're going in the playoffs and maybe they need some depth or some guy got hurt and he's like a perfect feeling guy.
Do you see? That's why
like
I'm
the
saying
Mark Hanna deal.
Now you go to your prospects in your farm, and now you're trading young guys for young guys, and I just don't think that gets it done.
You're trading the young guys you know for young guys you don't. Like,
right.
It's just,
right.
It doesn't
so
make a ton of sense.
I'm just saying, like, I think Posey's exhausted every option.
Fair. That's fair.
And to his defense, because I know he's working, I don't think he has a lot to work with. And we could all agree on that.
True.
Right? We just went through an exercise together.
Yeah.
So we all just need to be, unfortunately, we all got to be patient. And I don't even have an expectation other than I just want to see an improvement. I want to see player development, really train these guys right. I want to see polished
That's fair.
Baseball players get better throughout the year. And I want to see these guys come together as a team. And hopefully the baseball gods will reward them and get some wins. And who knows, they can get hot at the right time like Detroit did last year. And they might surprise us. But regardless, we're all going to be Giants fans no matter what.
I have no choice in the matter. It's like if I could choose to be a fan of some other team, maybe I would, but it's too late for me.
Right?
There's no.
I can't wear green and yellow. I just can't do it.
I'm never going to be an A's fan.
I love the A's, but I can't do it.
My earliest memory of watching a baseball game was watching Mark Mulder pitch at the Coliseum.
They were good, man. I love Ricky Henderson. The Bash Brothers were fun to watch.
Bash Brothers were awesome to watch.
Right?
Gosh, dang, dude.
It's
remember Terry Steinbach, freaking Carney Lansford, the Bash Brothers.
I'm a Yankees fan.
Man, dude.
Bro, I hate the Yankees. Absolutely hate the Yankees.
Yeah.
Okay. When they came to Oracle last year and we lost, I was pissed for a week.
Oh, they crushed the Giants, dude.
Yeah.
Again, that was the time Juan Soto absolutely devastated the soul of
dude. I
Camilo
was
Doval.
so mad.
Camilo Doval was not the same after that.
No,
dude.
he has not been. He's been in rehab ever since. No, I'm just kidding. But,
his stupid helmet. What about Carney Lansford in that little freaking? His bat wouldn't stop moving, dude.
That guy was awesome, though, wasn't he? Carney Lansford.
Yeah.
The A's, man, they've had some players.
Now the only thing is, his defense wasn't as great. He just was diving after everything. It's not like he was great. He just dove after everything to make it look dramatic.
I mean, even going back to the days like when Clark played with Kevin Mitchell and those guys. I mean, they drafted those guys.
No.
I think the Giants have been the Giants when they draft. Look at Willie McCovey, Willie Mays, that era. They drafted those guys.
Yeah, we caught it, Brian. We caught it.
The Verlander thing, you guys just have to laugh at it. I think it's hysterical. Come on, man. He's bringing Kate Upton to the mix.
Bro, he couldn't even come to San Francisco for the freaking press conference. He had to do it through Zoom. That tells you everything. Hey, how about we do this press conference through Zoom?
Well,
Get out of here, man.
dude, I think it's funny. And I think what's going to happen
a joke.
is I think he's going to surprise us this year, and it's going to be hysterical. He's going to come out and shove it, and we're going to be like, dude, we love this guy. Sign him again for another year.
We'll see. I don't see it happening, but you never know. It is.
That's why I love baseball, because you just never know. You got to
Yeah.
always just have an open mind. Every time I say this, I've seen it all. I will go to the yard and see something I've never seen before and go, oh my God, I've just seen something new. It is the weirdest game, but it's the best game.
It is. Absolutely.
So now you guys feel better about Posey? Did I kind of walk you through this and make you feel a little bit better? Or are you guys
I didn't really have problems with Posey. I
don't have an issue with Posey so much as
I have a problem with Greg Johnson.
Yeah,
Greg Johnson, yes. But on the same, we just don't know what happened with the whole Corbin Burns thing. You know, Buster Posey, look, we got to hold the guy to the fire, right? The guy, what did he say? He was in the business of creating memories. He talked about pitching and scratching across runs. Well, I'm sorry.
You know what's going to happen?
You can't say those things and not be called out on them, man.
You know what he's going to do, bro? He's going to strap up the gear in spring training, and he's going to work with the pitchers in the bullpen. He's going to make sure those guys are dialed in because he's got his name on the line.
We'll see. It's different though, man. It's you're right. I get it. You know, you could say all the words, but once you start throwing the ball, man,
you know who we should get pissed off at is Larry, the CEO, because he's the guy controlling the money.
No, it's Greg. It's Greg. Larry, I think, has been out of it. It's absolutely Greg.
It's
Greg Johnson.
But Larry and Greg are doing that project, the mission project.
Well, he's just the front man. You know, I mean, all ownership is behind that because they're all getting paid. But come on, that's Greg Johnson.
When Greg owns 30%, he's calling the shots. Like,
yes,
that's the deal.
Well, I think if Giants fans don't show up to the yard and there's a big dip in sales, the other owners are going to get pissed off, and there's going to be change at some point, right?
Yeah, but you know they're doing a good job
making money, man.
They're doing a good job of keeping the bleed to a minimum. You know, it's like.
But see, the thing about like the true Giants fans, the guys that grew up back in the day, and they're like ride or die like I am. They're not going anywhere, no matter what happens.
They've been through worse.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
And the Giants fans that just like to go to the game just because it's a social event, they're going to talk their smack. They're going to just jump off the bandwagon anytime they want and then jump back on when they start winning. So there's just a mixture of demographics going on right now. But I just think that
I think it's fine to be a fan and also be upset at the way the team's.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're getting mixed messages. That's the problem. I don't like that. I don't want people to sit there and maybe I'm a little bit naive. I just don't come sit here and tell me that you're in the job of creating memories and talk about pitching and defense. And you did not, your solution is a 42-year-old pitcher who's past his prime. Look, he may have a great year, but he's 42 years old. You don't get better. You just don't get better when you're 42 years old.
Okay, Highlander thinks Spencer Jones is more athletic than Judge. Can we pull him up? We're going to do a scouting exercise. I have no idea.
I honestly don't even know where to.
Just YouTube Spencer Jones.
I have to go to sleep, but
I got to get going here myself. Hey, let's do that one tomorrow. How about let's do that one tomorrow?
Let's do that one tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
Highlander will get you, bro. But no, it's been. I mean, I get it. I was pissed too this morning. I was like, I'm calling Posey. I'm going to go down there, sign me as a scout. I want to win. I'm tired of this shit. I get it.
Yeah.
But, you know, in baseball, I've learned you do something wrong or something bad happens. You just got to move on and worry about the next pitch.
Yep. Absolutely.
So
hey, guys, thanks for joining up. I appreciate it. I'm going to get out of here. Before we get out of Vince, you got any closing thoughts?
Liked to hear what you said, Paul. Really good stuff, but I just think that process is going to take longer. I think the Giants need to do a little bit more than just scouting. I need to do. I don't know. Again, like what you said, Paul. Good stuff. I just feel like it's going to be forever when that time comes, though.
I appreciate you, Vince.
Right on. All right, Marcus, Vince, Paul, thanks for showing up, man. I appreciate you guys.
Anytime, guys. We love
All
the
right,
show.
Thank you.
Take
All
care.
right.
Bye-bye.
Let's get out of here, man. Holy crap. Still not feeling better. Paul, I know you tried your best, man. They're gonna have to prove it to me. I'm just tired of the words. Just gotta have to prove it to me. We heard words with Farhan. We heard words with Posey. We need action, guys. Right? Isn't that what we need? Action. I've sat here and I've defended this team from since Posey got hired. And look, and like I said, I'm not putting all the onus on Posey, but I am gonna put blame if you're gonna come out and make grandiose statements such as in the memory making business. And I get it. You can't do it in 1 year. But the one area I thought you were going to be able to do something, and I thought it was going to be starting pitching, and we seem to miss. Look, I understand missing on bats because that's I'm used to that as a Giants fan. But when you're missing on all these starting pitchers that you had available to get this year, that's the issue I have. That was the area that I thought the Giants would be able to capitalize on, and they didn't. That's the problem I have. And that's why I was so shocked, guys. When the Giants signed Willie Adames, I was feeling good, man. I was riding high because that was the last thing I expected is to get someone, or I should say a bat such as Willie Adames, because again, he was one of the more coveted guys in the free agency. But the totally whiff. And again, with Verlander, he's a 42-year-old 1-year contract. I mean, are you really addressing the starting pitching? Not really. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. Chapman. Guys have been calling me. Whatever. Getting the hell out of here. Guys, thanks for hanging out. We'll be back tomorrow, 8:30, whatever. We'll see what happens. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night. And we'll see how I feel tomorrow. This 365. Hey, Glenn is more than welcome to come on here and go 365. This guy. No. This guy, no. Hey, if they do something, that's great. Maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe. But I'm done saying there's going to be trades. I'm done saying that they're going to sign some kind of free agent. I'm done. Whatever happens, happens. Had enough. Yes, Salsa. I have been broken. Absolutely. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.